That is bullshit blazing, still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new one under you. Soon you will know, we already know the smell of the game. In the toxic created by this world. That is who you are. No science will say that I must be dead sometimes without gravity us on the ground. That is bullshit blazing, still my heart is blazing. If I lose my wings, I don't need a new world under you. Can't feel a thing. We already know the smell of the game. Remember, you are blazing, still your heart is blazing. If the world made you, I don't need a new world under you. Soon you will know, we already know the smell of the game. Can't you see I'm blazing? Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world under you. My tribe is my word. Your words will never let me disobey. That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world under you. We already know the smell of the, know the smell of the, know the smell of the, know the smell of the game.
And welcome to the PlayStation Monthly Series for Guilty Gear Strive EU Edition. I am Ringe, this is Jadlin, and we are excited to bring y'all some Guilty Gear Strive today.
Yeah, I'm so hyped to be able to spend my day talking about Guilty Gear. We are live on the new patch, get to see some exciting gameplay today, starting with the EU region, which always brings some crazy action, and we're just jumping straight into it today.
Yeah, I gotta put as much respect on EU as possible after they smacked us up, you know what I mean, in the exhibition over on Leffen's channel. So I've been respecting them. You know, France did us dirty in Dragon Ball 2, so it's been a rough way in terms of US. So we're covering the EU today, and let's see what the EU is gonna be playing for, shall we? I want to see what that prize pool is looking like, because it is going to be a top 4 payout. As you can see, the first place getting that 400, second 3, third 2, and fourth $100. So you gotta grind it out, getting that upper echelon of the top 8 results to get paid today. But you know, that's what the players are always aiming for, first place after all.
Oh yeah, definitely. And everybody is eligible for this prize money. All you have to do is go to compete.playstation.com and sign up to compete in any of the monthly events that we have, and then you could be playing in our top 32 right now to qualify for those top 4 prizes.
Yeah, exactly right. So you can find out any and everything in regards to competitive video games over at compete.playstation.com. You know, Under Night In-Birth, all kinds of fighting games, and even beyond that, right? They have like Call of Duty series and whatnot. So definitely check it out if you're trying to get into this realm of competitive video games, you know, because it's a lot to learn and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's also free to sign up. So free to sign up, and you get money if you get top 4. I mean, that's not a bad payout.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's going to be fun to see who's actually going to be bringing the heat today to get into that top 4, because we are on the new patch, right? This patch is still in its fledgling stages when it comes to Guilty Gear Strive. We got a bunch of buffs for certain characters, very few nerfs actually, which I think a lot of people are happy to see, right? We've seen Soul tone down a little bit with the FD nerf on, or buff, I should say, I guess. FD buff, but Soul nerf on the far S, and then, you know, the adjustments on some of the buttons that have been just plaguing the neutral, like chip far S, 2S, and far S from May. So I want to see how players kind of utilize the new tools that they're going to have.
Right, and like you're saying, there's a lot of characters that got buffs too. I mean, we were talking about some of this off camera, but I'm a Kai player, and like the changes to some of his buttons, like his far S, the way you can follow that up now, and Stun Dipper has a lot more, you can more accurately get the second hit on the second part of Stun Dipper, which is great. Like, there's a lot of really cool things that are coming in. Ino, too, her dash movement and distance is so fast now, and so her options to like close gaps and get into that neutral game have increased dramatically. So it'll be really cool seeing what our players have figured out in 3 days coming into this final.
Yeah, exactly right. I was playing a little bit of Zato myself, playing against some of the characters that got adjusted, and I mean the 6P buff in conjunction with some of the nerfs to the far range neutral buttons. It's interesting to see how you can play a little bit more on the ground than you were able to before. But I believe we have a bracket on deck that we can look at now, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see if we can get to that. But our players are on deck shortly, so we'll be getting to the match regardless if we are not going to be looking at the bracket. I am very excited in general to see maybe if the Zato is going to be shown out today. Of course, that's like my favorite character in all of fighting games, so I'm always looking forward to him. But as you mentioned, Kai and Ino, I think are two of like the characters I'm keeping an eye on the most, as well as I think Ackerall. I think Ackerall, that buff with the 5P getting to combo into Snail, the 214H, that is definitely going to be a huge reward off of a punch that he didn't have before. So I think that can also kind of skyrocket him a little bit. And we already seen a lot of success coming out from Ackerall, right? One of the Evo champions from Asia. So definitely already up there, and I'm sure just going to be more of a problem going forward.
And what I'm going to also be interested to see, especially in our finals today, is how those characters that we've been seeing be so dominant in brackets around the world, like Sol, like Mei, like you mentioned, how that's going to change in terms of what we see here represented today. Are we going to see as many Sols? Probably, because, he didn't get that nerfed. But, what changes do they have to make? Are we going to see people making mistakes because they're not used to the way that the buttons hit now? Or, with Mei, are we going to see more counters to Totsugeki and how that's going, from certain characters because they're not sure how the changes from other characters now affect their own.
Yeah, 100%, right? Like, I definitely want to see how people kind of approach these problem characters. Chip as well, right? We've seen the Jump 2K nerf, and I think a lot of people have been saying it is much easier to anti-air now, so I think that's going to be an issue. And I want to see how these players that have had these tools change their gameplay, right? Because what did come along with the nerfs were buffs to different things. We saw Mei 5H get buffed, right? We've seen the Chip 2S, the momentum on forward dash into the button get buffed as well. And I believe Sol got his wild throw buffed, gets a full combo off the RC now. So there's new tools to play with, even for the characters that got toned down. And then there's characters that were already successful that are getting, even more buffs, like the Nagoriyuki, right? We've seen Nagoriyuki and a Evo champion Hotashi. And now the far S chain all the way through, it drains like 1.5 bars of blood or some nonsense like that. In addition to, I think they made sure the glitch didn't happen as much, where you connect at the tip of the sword and then you get like the full animation that doesn't actually connect. So yeah, Nagoriyuki has been getting buffed. There's another character that I had on my mind, but there are definitely problem characters still that are going to be even more of a problem this patch. But as that happens, right, people get used to playing against them, and people then get better at the matchup and cause players to kind of evolve. But that's the beauty of fighting games.
Right. So a character that's been on my mind a lot is Anji, because Anji got buffed.
Yes.
And so now with his Fujin, you can cancel it into various follow-up attacks, even when it's whiffed. So he's got so many more options. Like, you can just train people to react a certain way and change it immediately. And I feel like, Anji was notably one of the more weak characters in this cast. So I feel like this definitely elevates him closer to where the rest of the cast is. If we have any Anji players here today, you feel like that's going to influence their gameplay and help them out and just see some more wild stuff? Or are we just going to see people trying to figure out Anji for the next couple of weeks and then see him?
Ooh, I think if we're going to see any Anji players today, I think they're going to be pretty comfortable already. Not as comfortable as they're going to be, a week or two from now, but I've already seen the nonsense that these Anji players, this is what they've wanted. That's the issue, right? Is that they wanted these nonsense type cancels. And you said cancel on whiff, right? And that is accurate. Right. But I want to drive home the point that it's you don't even see the Fujin, right? You can cancel into the follow-ups before even seeing the Fujin at all. So the amount of shenanigans that these Anji players can get into, like skyrocketed. It went from a very little type shenanigans to like some of the most potential in the game. So because of that, I think they're just gonna be like, they're probably not gonna be optimized, but they are definitely gonna be wild for sure.
So I'm just thinking about different characters that we might see and like how they were changed. And, characters that we saw prominently, we already went over Sol and Mei and Nago. Two others that really come to mind that got, a little bit of buffs here and there were both Leo and Giovanna. And I know that they aren't seen as frequently as the rest of the cast that I mentioned, but they do have a pretty good representation. How do you feel like those changes are, especially with Leo, and the way that he can follow things up now, especially in his stance, how that's going to change things in the gameplay going forward?
Yeah, I mean, Leo was the character that I was thinking about earlier that I couldn't remember after highlighting Nagoriyuki. This character getting buffed is something else for sure. And it was definitely the meme line of the patch, right? Where it was like, oh, he needs help opening up people in back turn stance. And we're like, bro, he's got an 18 frame overhead. He's got a command throw. The 5K is 5 frames. Like, come on. He doesn't need that help, but he got it. And now he's going to be even more dangerous. We've already seen, I believe, K7 win Summer Jam, one of the first offline tournaments to take place for Guilty Gear Strive with the Leo. And he's just a beast everywhere he's gone. In addition to Sonic Fox, of course, showing out on the character as well. So, I mean, this character is already a problem. I think people should play him. Like, he is very, very good. I think he's got great all-around gameplay. Obviously, he can open you up. I think his projectile game is solid. He's just one of those characters that I feel like always presents a threat no matter where he is on the screen.
Yeah, when I saw, it's now easier to open up the opponent's defense in Brunhilder's stance. I was like, really?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing with that? Okay, sure. Cool, because he needs that. And I mean, you know what? I'm excited to see what people do with it, because there can be some really cool options coming off of that. And I like with Giovanna, her 6P is now faster on startup. Like, Gio's a fast character. She can close gaps super quickly, especially with some of her slash buttons. They can just really get her in really quickly. Yeah. And now it's like 6P, that should go faster.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
And now, so she gets like a better conversions off her jabs because she can go into 6P combos now. And just in general, as a character, Zato also got his 6P sped up. So playing a little bit with that, seeing that, like how much it has improved as a defensive option up against like a lot of these buttons that did get nerfed that we highlighted earlier. Like, it's actually significant in the neutral game. You feel way more comfortable pressing that 6P against some of these big grounded buttons now. So Giovanna, that's one of her main weaknesses, right, is that she got mauled without any super meter. So because of that, I mean, the 6P is going to work out more in the neutral. Once they get in, then it's going to be a little tough, but she does have the 4-frame jab that she can convert into bigger combos now. So Giovanna is definitely an issue, to say the least. Oh, there's
right.
I keep forgetting about these characters.
Now we are going to get into some matches, and we get to see what we've been talking about in action. This is a top 16 match, and we're going to see Engel, I'm going to try my best on this one. Engel Deruzzi versus Rolo 1991. I'm really excited. Normally we don't get to see these top 16 play-ins, but I always love when you get to see where people came from to get in their top 8 and then how they fight their way through. So I'm really hyped to see this.
Yeah, you want to see the origin stories, right? Let's see exactly what brought them to the dance in the first place. So yeah, it should be a good one, and for sure. I feel like I've seen Rolo in 1991 play before. I think he entered one of the tournaments in the past for the EU, but we shall see what they bring to the dance, of course, in regards to characters, in regards to play styles. There's obviously in this game, it's very rushdown heavy, right? But we could see an Axel or something like that. Characters, or in general, I mean, if you play against a Potemkin, right, in certain matchups, you want to keep away. And that's actually the character I want to talk about too, is Potemkin, another character that got buffed a bit. I didn't realize that, like, when you blocked Heat Knuckle, there was pretty much like no risk gauge build before. And now it's like a third of your bar, like almost a half. It is wild how much that risk gauge gets cranked when you block a Heat Knuckle in the air now. So he is also getting scarier and scarier as the game develops. It is wild. I really like the way the meta has been going, though.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, with that, increased risk gauge, it's like, man, what do I do now? Because sometimes, you know, depending on the character you are playing into a Potemkin, you're like, well, let me jump. And he said, no, let me grab you. And then you try to do your ground game, and then he's just going to stun you out of it. So I feel like even with that, he's got more options. So people are going to have to make adjustments. And if you're not, I mean, this game is really heavily character matchup based. So if you're not used to playing against a character, you can't be like, I play Geo into, you know, Potemkin, and I don't know what I'm doing now. You might struggle, but we're going to see Mei and Nago, two of the three characters we highlighted as being some of the most seen, but characters that got changed. So
Indeed.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this. So let's hop straight in.
Ooh, okay, you can already see the 2S coming into play, right? I actually traded with the 5K to start it off. 2S, one of the buttons that got adjusted a bit. The disjointed hitbox got nerfed. So now we're gonna see, oh my goodness, nothing nerfed about that Beyblade though, already in the corner.
Right, look at that blood meter though, that is going up really high. He's got to make sure that he's watching it, but RC to try and pressure, but Mei is she was really blocking a lot, but taking some hits now. The 2D, or the D misses, and now Nago in a lot of trouble. Wall break. That was a lot of damage.
Most definitely. Both these characters hit extremely hard. I'll be setting up the beach ball and the Totsugeki back to back. Wow, actually low profiling the 5K as well. Command throw in the corner. Yeah, that's definitely going to be enough damage. Oh no, he tried to go for killer well. Guess had to be closer to the corner to get the full super perhaps.
Yeah, oh, I like the RC to just sort of reset the pressure, but a YRC and a burst?
Yeah, the gold burst is coming up empty with that, but toss to the corner, still anybody's game, doesn't get any follow-up off the ground throw, but the 2S checks the legs one more time. One of Nagoriyuki's best buttons.
So getting into game 2, I mean, geez, Engel was living on a pixel there for a while, so really used to living at that low life. So many Totsugekis coming out, but I like the way that Rolo is changing up the high-low to try and mix up their counter.
Oh, checked after the dolphin. Well done from Engel, able to take his turn back. Oh no, wake up with the Orca. Man's ate the full super. Now he's going to be rushed down in this corner. Blue RC didn't actually get it with the slowdown though, so very tough to contest at that point.
Yeah, it's a shame because that was a lot of meter that they don't have now. They do have it back now. RC gonna finish it off.
Damn, that was a violent ender too. The up short sword into the 6H slash down. True samurai style right there from the Goriyuki.
Yeah, that... Jeez, and we're just right back into it. I love it when players are like, I'm not done, let's go again.
Yeah, that's just like the pace of this game too, the rematch being so quick and just how fast the game is. It is very easy to play a lot of games very quickly. You fiend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that Naga's using that dash a lot to close the distance, make sure that they can be there when they need to be. Oh, the Drift RC now full combo into the corner, wall break. Good lord, Mei still has, I mean, yeah, she may have gotten a little bit of nerfs, but she's got a lot of viable options still.
Yeah, exactly. And they buffed her command throw as well, like mid-screen conversions now are like more plentiful. Ooh, good stuff on the Bushin clone right there, able to follow it up as well. Close friends all day, backdashing the slide, but the PRC to chase him down. Yeah, so you get a little bit more of a follow-up. Wow, that was nasty.
Yeah, Rolo really knows their combo routes.
That was sick. Yeah, he did the command throw and like did one follow-up into the frame kill Totsugeki into another command throw. That was really good.
I love the way these two are just throwing out buttons, being like, okay, what's gonna hit? And then once something lands, they just go full combo, and it's ridiculous.
Challenge that does. There's a lot of damage change, and then all of a sudden chasing him down with the Fukyo. Good stuff again, getting the command throw. That's all that blood. Yeah, that means he's gonna be able to go wild using all the specials. My goodness, that bar is gonna be building up, but he gets the charge dust anyway for the kill, stab down.
I like the choice to use the charge dust because Mei was just blocking. You're not gonna block a charge dust when you're crouch blocking. You're hit. It was a really smart decision on their part. So getting back into this third round here, everybody's taking a little bit right now, but unfortunately with these two, because they hit so hard, a little bit does a lot of damage, and that burst didn't do anything great for Engel, so he is living in guts right now.
Yeah, my man's just living in marine hell, to be quite honest. The water is rising and he could not swim. It is unfortunate. There's a drowning to the dolphins, the whales, the anchors. May rules the sea and the air after all, so be like that.
But it's 1-1 now, so we've got him. I love it. I love when you go in and you've got a set, like right off the bat. It just goes to show, like, these players who are, you know, who qualify for these top 32, they're meant to be here.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, he tried for another type of like frame kill Totsugeki into the command throw, but he was too early that time, so just completely whiffed. Still in the throw invul state. Oh, the 6H just chasing him down, double up on it after the Fukio, very high on the blood. Oh, the 6P actually beat out the Nagoriyuki button, and then the overhead RC mid-screen. That's going to be a full follow-up here. Low afterwards, cornered herself, but it gets the backdash, just not giving Nagoriyuki any room to breathe at this point, smothering him one more time. Stuffed the 2H with a slide. Well done.
Yeah, Rolo plays a really fast Mei, and I feel like once they get that speedy tempo going, they just don't take their foot off the gas, and it was go. But unfortunately for them this time, they don't have the opportunity to get that speed going.
Oh, the command throw, trying to switch it up now, trying to get that speed going again with the command throw. Yo. Slide, I don't know what that was about, kind of messed up the setup there, but RC aggressively to keep Nagoriyuki locked in this corner. He's got a burst of his own, got to keep it in mind. Great backdash.
It looked like Mei was going for a throw there, and that little backdash got him right out of it, because you have to be very close to land any of those grabs. But there's a crab.
Yeah,
One hit will kill. There it is.
Indeed, the delayed Beyblade. Dangerous too because he was already high on blood. I think that's why Rolo felt comfortable trying to flinch there. Maybe it was just chip. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, getting into this third round. Oh, early burst. Wonder if they just felt threatened because they were at the wall already, and Mei's wall combos have been clutch.
Nice bite out of Crime there. Gonna drag her to the other side of the corner. Caught her trying to press buttons early, but ended up losing the corner for himself. That's a real bad for Angle. Especially with a slide under the 2H again. Rolo has been scouting that and using it to counter effectively.
Yeah, so I mean, now you can see why Angle burst so early when he was up against that wall, because if Mei lands something, she's gonna get the wall break now. Rolo's proved that. Oh, going to SeaWorld.
Yes, indeed, and the wall break for the kill. Rolo has done such a good job utilizing that slide. It's low profile the 2H. It's also low profile the 6P that Nagoriyuki has gone into multiple times. So a great just a utilization of the normals.
Yeah, just like you said, utilization of the normals. That's been clutch to their game plan. Holy moly, what a round opener. And there it is, that early bursting in, but this time it's a gold burst. That's a lot of tension meter to have on your side. Uses a little bit of it for a YRC. And there was an RC there, but unfortunately just Rolo doing a great job blocking.
Yeah, he's got a couple of cool like frame kill command throw setups too. He's utilized 6P effectively. Rolo has definitely been on one so far. Actually OTG'd with that far as didn't mean to, but it's all right. Scrambles often favor Mei. It's just how it goes when you got normals like that.
Yeah, and really, Rolo just keeping an incredibly cool head and calm and collected, even when they are getting hit like this. Like, they're not out of it. Look at that counter hit. You've now done all the damage that Nago did to you.
Wow, yeah, closer to the command throw as well, so it's going to be all Nagoriyuki at this point. 2D from long distance and comboing with the 2S for the kill. Great recognition.
Yeah, so we're at another third round. I think everyone but the first game went to a third round, but Mei being oppressive. I'm going to be really watching Angle's burst meter too, just to see when they use it. Nice RC carrying all the way to the corner. Oh, but it drops, doesn't get the wall break this time.
Wow, trying to slice the dolphin mid-screen with the 6H, not gonna happen. Does catch her out of the air, 5K, saw the whiff throw, so he PRC. That's gonna be able to block the gold burst, not to give her too much. Gold burst for himself though, that's full 100% tension, uses one burst meter, or excuse me, bar, to get out of that situation. Great 2H into the Fukio anti-air, can't get the full combo though.
No, ooh, what a catch there with that low. Now Rolo using all their meter trying to FD. Oh no! Wasn't watching the blood gauge and went in and got knocked back, but oh, so much damage. So now 2-2.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. As you mentioned, Rolo was not watching that blood gauge, so he ended up Totsugeking right into the burst pop. Yeah, it was an interesting combo choice that Engel went into after the Beyblade, because he did like Beyblade close S into 6H. For the 6H, I think he was trying to get the blood drain to make sure that he didn't pop for the max blood, but it was like too late at that point. It was still too much blood built from that Beyblade previously. It wasn't going to prevent the actual pop, but Rolo didn't realize that either, so eventually ended up kind of making the wrong decision with the Totsugeki, and yeah, just the giant range on the normals from Nagoriyuki once he's in that state kind of led him to losing. But it looks like we ended up dropping from that last game, so we're gonna get the lobby commentary. It looks like Angle gonna be taking the first round, perhaps. Oh, back into it. Oh yeah, all right. So I think they're gonna be playing out that last game, unfortunately via avatars, but yeah.
I mean, it's so important to, I mean, we're talking about character matchups, and it's important to know what your opposing character has that's unique to them. So like with Nago, it's his blood meter. And when he has that full blood meter, he, takes off his mask, he does more damage, he has access to certain moves that he doesn't have normally. But if you're really close and he goes into that blood meter, and he uses the blood meter, like what we saw when Mei was really close, you get knocked back and you get a little bit of a stagger at the end of it. But I mean, if you're out of there, you have a huge opportunity to punish. So if Rolo had been paying attention to where the blood meter was, could have backed off, and honestly could have done enough damage to have won that particular round. But because they weren't, they were in, and they got knocked back, they got that little bit of stagger, and because Nago's range is, most of the screen, was able to capitalize on that damage and got to take that set.
Yeah, exactly. So, unfortunate ending for Rolo right there. But yeah, that's why it's important, even as the opponent, to keep your eye on the blood gauge, right? Not just as Nagoriyuki, you got to manage it. As in the opponent, there are huge opportunities to take full advantage of just deleting Nagoriyuki's health bar if they manage to get into that blood max state. So yeah, I'm sure Rolo will learn that lesson, try to keep it in the forefront of his mind going forward. Whether he plays another Nagoriyuki in this tournament or not, it's just going to be a lesson learned, And that's why we play a lot of these tournaments in the first place, right? Practice, getting your reps in, that's how you get better.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you want to practice against these people and you're in the EU region, go to compete.playstation.com. We have signups there all the time for you to get involved in these monthly tournaments, and you can just get in there and fight these people. And I think it's a really good thing because it's beneficial to play people who are better than you, because you get, not only you learn how to defend against them, you learn like specific character move sets, and you learn how you can play into them. And even if you have a mirror match, you can get great ideas on how you can improve your own gameplay and style.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that is how you end up getting better, just the experience, and then the different players, as you said, and being exposed to them really will improve your gameplay, because it'll just open up your mind and make you think about so much more. But this is going to be the replay of the game 5 that went down here. You can see my man's Engel did clutch it out in the first round. However, it's for 2 rounds for the victory, of course, right? So you see very close in the second one. Oh, this is the replays from the total set, I see. So we did get the information that Rolo was able to take the overall set, won at the game 5, so he'll be moving on in winners. But this is like, yeah, replays from overall. That was the cool like frame kill setup when it came to the command grab, able to break the wall and then put him on a pixel, just the up dolphin.
Gross.
Yeah.
Like, it's just upsetting when you get killed by a dolphin.
Especially when you're a samurai. Like, that's not the way I thought I was gonna go out.
Right?
I don't know how my fate intertwined with this Queen of the Sea.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just checking out these replays from the matches, and we'll get a little bit of that final match that we didn't get to see on stream. But look at the way that Rolo can just capitalize on every hit when they have that. There's another one of those fantastic wall breaks. Oh, and there it was, that blood gauge that caught Rolo just sort of off guard.
Yeah, that was definitely rough. But good stuff to Rolo, able to take out Engel and take the full set for themselves and be moving on in the winner's bracket with that Mei. So the nerfs not enough to hinder Rolo just yet. And I believe Rolo is a veteran of the PlayStation tournament, so no surprise that they're once again moving on in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. They definitely showed some really cool combo routes, just showing that Mei is more than just Totsugeki. As much as as much as a lot of us like to say that she's just Totsugeki, she's not, and has some really cool setups and some great wall breaks, some great carries, just, mid-screen all the way to the wall, and got to show them off there. And so good to Rolo moving on. That was a top 16 match, and so they will be going forward in the upper side of our bracket.
Yeah, and Mays are only going to get more dangerous. Shouts to Slash over there in EU. He's been putting it down with May in the Levo tournaments over there in Europe as well. And he's got nasty stuff with beach ball RC setups. May, a lot of the Mays are just getting onto the tip of the iceberg. There's still so much more to the character, and she's so gross when it comes to offensive oppression. So it's definitely a character that's going to be a problem for a long time, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I liked the way that Rolo is taking advantage of the fact that some of Nago's buttons are slower. And so, May can slide in between some of those hits. If you know where the gaps in Nago's strings are, you can take advantage of that. And I mean, Nago, if he does get a hit, he's going to hit you hard, and he can hit you a lot further away than May can. So that, the spacing game is really important. But Rolo had save that one time with the blood gauge filling up, had a really good idea of where they could play in as May and take advantage of the really good buttons for May. But that being aside, we're going to go to TekkenFlame versus Retro Mix-Up, get another match here for you guys. And hey, by the way, thank you for hanging with us on this EU monthly finals for Guilty Gear Strive. We're excited to bring you all of this action, so, stay tuned, keep watching. And let's get into it. Anji! I'm so excited.
Yeah, okay, so now Flame, I believe he has also entered some of these before, but Retro Mix-Up has entered every single one of these. And Retro Mix-Up has entered a lot of EU tournaments. This is a Soul main. He's been playing Soul since the launch of the game, I believe, in Guilty Gear before that as well. So he's definitely going to be one of the favorites to go far. As you can see, I'm a still DP. Even with that S Volcanic Viper nerf, he's not afraid to let you know.
Right? There's small nerfs, but he's still Soul bad guy, and he's still going to do well. So let's see if Anji comes out with any of those Fujin cancels.
Yes,
they're already using them, just right as I said it.
And the hop, there's a little bit of a throw loop he's got with the hop as well. You can frame kill with the 5P after the throw forward. So it can definitely be a problem for a DP character like Soul, considering DPs can get thrown, but he's the one doing the throwing for now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, geez, Soul, I know he got little baby nerfs, but he's still incredibly oppressive if you get his game going, which is most of the time. Ooh, FD kind of breaks it a little bit, but Anji's just stuck in this corner. Is he gonna get the wall break? Nope. Throw out of the corner.
RC for the full combo to put him back in the corner now. Dang, that's definitely reminiscent of old Soul. Of course, you still got to use the RC to get the wall throw combo, but I know Souls are definitely going to be happy they got that back.
Well, that went really quickly.
It did. We saw glimpses of the Anji stuff, right? Seeing the hops. He got the throw, but it didn't really lead to anything. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more, but that's the name of the game when playing against Soul. You got to get your breathing room first, and maybe he'll just let a raw Fujin rock. Oh, okay, he's in the 6H, but he ended up getting Volcanic Viper. Retro, he showed you in the name on Guilty Gear, bro. I'm a still DP. He's not scared.
No, I love just the little punches to be are you going to make a move? Are you going to make a move? Now you are, because I'm not going to punch anymore. Another grab, because there were changes to the command grab as well on Soul to make it a little bit more viable. But, RC met with a YRC thrown into the corner. Oh, Anji jumped out, but punished badly. Oh, get dunked.
Yeah, Souls utilized the wild throw a lot as a round ender before because, of course, the command throw being invul to regular throws will beat a lot of a wake-up mash throw in those cases. So Retro Mix-Up already utilizing the wild throw to its effectiveness, both in its old way and in the new way that we saw in a round previous.
Jeez, that DP, that hurt my soul. Because Anji finally had a little bit going and then just DP'd another throw. Ooh, gold burst. Ooh, catches a DP that didn't land. This could be a wall break?
Yeah, most definitely a great RC to bait the burst, but he ended up dropping the combo PRC to cover that whiff. Ended up getting a cross up as Retro Mix-Up was looking to save the corner. He's got mid-screen back while dodging the gunflame just barely. Nice air manipulation as well. Not to give Retro what he was looking for, but it's inevitable, it feels like. The far S into the 5H. 2-0 for Retro Mix-Up to start the set.
That, jeez, every time you think Anji's got a foothold, he doesn't against Soul. And I mean, when Tekken had that wall combo that he was working on, you know, it was 8 hits and he dropped it and he still didn't wall break. Like, that's a shame. So here we are getting into this next set, and there we go. Retro Mix-Up finally getting some of the game going, but Anji trying to get in the air just to create some difference in pressure.
Oh no, yeah, and then got caught flinching on the 5H. Headbutt into the RC. Wall break will get the kill. My goodness, yeah, Retro does not let my man Flame breathe whatsoever.
No, I mean, I respect that Tekken is trying to do different setups and trying to get in differently, but right now, I think they're out of options. Look, 3 hits, wall combo, we're in a new stage. Anji's like a, what, 10% health?
Yeah, I mean, this character is bleeding heavily at this point. Ooh, just trying to go with the low afterwards. Wanted the gold burst, but couldn't find it. Does get 50 meter to get the YRC going. Covers the whiff with the PRC, then just stuffs what he tried to do next. He ended up getting an execution error there, but again, it feels inevitable. Bandit Bringer for the kill and the set victory. Retro Mix-Up 3-0.
Yeah, that last Bandit Bringer too. I love the way Retro jumped up, did a little movement backwards, and then Bandit Bringer. I mean, it just rubs salt in the wounds. Like, oh, you're not gonna hit a button? Gotcha. And that was really quick, honestly. I mean, that I come primarily from Blaze Blue cross tag battle, and that felt like a BB tag match.
Yeah, I was gonna say, very familiar with the pace of that then, right? Like Retro Mix-Up, 3 out of 5. I felt very quick in his hands, just completely mauling Flame over and over again. We saw that first round with the throws, and then again here, this is the new one, right, where he gets a full RC combo now off of the wild throw instead of just like the OTG that you got before. So Souls will definitely be feeling good about that. And then Bandit Bringer. Bandit Bringer also changed a bit in this patch, got nerfed, but you know, still quite a viable option, as we saw multiple times here from my man I'ma Still DP, aka Retro Mix-Up.
I'ma Still DP, that's his nickname now. I mean, and golly, just these throws, and there's that wall break that we were seeing towards the end where Anji was just on life support the entire time. And just watch, I think this is the one where he does like the neutral jump up into the last Bandit Bringer. Yes, there's the YRC, PRC, and then just this little jump dash, Bandit Bringer. I'm not just, that hurts.
Yeah, right. He did the air back dash. You thought you were gonna have some space to work with, but took it right away with the Bandit Bringer, hitting the reverse 180.
Yeah, I mean, so we had mentioned before we were getting into matches that Soul he got changes. There are things that he got changed. And so some of the things that we said, like Bandit Bringer has increased knockback. Aerial Bandit Bringer also has increased knockback and increased recovery.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't really see it affect that there.
Yeah, in those situations, a lot of time he ended up just getting hit, and I mean, even though there's like a significant knockback now, it feels like depending on how it hits, right, you got to be a little bit more careful when you place your Bandit Bringers, because I believe if they are a bit closer, you can get an easier punish just like on a straight up strike. I'm not sure how much more negative it is now, but I've seen a couple of videos that look like that. But I mean, yeah, when it hits right, then I mean, there's no change, and it felt like he just hit all his Bandit Bringers instead. So I mean, that was good stuff from Retro Mix-Up, and pretty much the play I expected him to have. And next up is going to be Ackerall versus Sasori. Should be a very good matchup. I believe it's going to be Leo versus Giovanna, if I'm not mistaken, and it's going to be a top 8 match as well. So yeah, these two are frequenters of the top 8 here at the PlayStation tournaments, and yeah, if you're unfamiliar with them, you'll see why. They are dangerous competitors.
I'm so excited because one of the things we talked about before we got into all of this was Leo and Gio.
Yeah.
And the changes that they got, and so, you know, some of the eyebrow raise on Leo of, did he need a few more options when he's in Brynhildr's stance? I don't know. We're going to find out. And then Geo with the changes to her 6P being a little bit more viable in more of the matchups. You know, even though she's a very fast character, she's now got just a little bit more in her toolkit that she's going to be able to use, especially in the neutral game.
I just got to give you props. I didn't hear anything you said after you actually said the name of the back turn stance, because I think you're the first commentator I've ever heard actually say the name, because I can't say the name. That's for sure. I just say back turn.
It's very
You don't gotta
short
explain
aside.
yourself.
No. Very short aside. I have a master's in singing, so I had to learn German so I can say it.
Oh, perfect. I was going to say the pronunciation is like on point. I was like, okay, I got it now. Got you. But yeah, both of these characters are definitely already were dangerous. And now I feel like two characters that are very, like the spotlight is shown on them. I think a lot of people are expecting them to do even more damage in this version of the game than they did previously. Like we mentioned, Giovanna getting her 6P buff that gives her bigger combos off of her 4-frame jab, which is incredible, in addition to just being a more viable defensive option in the neutral game against some of these long-range mid buttons like these far S's coming out from Chip and May and whatnot. And then on the same time, yeah, Leo is going to be a monster, right? He got even more options in back turn stance. He's going to be able to dash cancel the 5K, catch you slipping that way, and just all kinds of oppression going to be coming out from his side as well.
Yeah, but the thing is with that back turn stance from Leo, you know, he can still be opened up if, you know, it's not invincibility while he's in that stance. Like if you go in with a low that comes from far away and he doesn't have the opportunity to counter it appropriately, he can be wide open to a ton of damage. And I feel like with a character like Geo, there's a lot of opportunities for those openings to happen, but if, you know, you make the wrong choice and you just come flying in, you're going to be countered for most of your health.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing how this one plays out in the neutral, because as you mentioned, right, in the back turn stance, he can't block at all. So if you're able to hit him, like from any range, you can hit him, but he has the parry, right? And he has different ways to kind of discouraging you from getting in. But with Geo's like dash momentum and being what it is and like carrying her normal so far, it is very common for people to get caught slipping and think that they're at a distance that they're not going to get hit when they actually are. So that is something to keep in mind when Leo plays at the back turn for sure. I want to see if he even goes into back turn stance at a distance at this point, or if he just tries to keep it in like a close range so he doesn't have to worry about that. But like that's also, you could use it as like a deer in the headlights moment up against the Geo, right? Where like they see that, oh, Sasori is gonna play Zato instead. Okay, so this is some lore here. Sasori was a Geo player from what I understand, from what I recall, but I always flamed him for being named Sasori, which is the puppet master in Naruto, and not playing the puppet character. But it seems like I finally got into him and he's switched to the Zato army. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, so I mean, Zato still has a lot of the, not as much speed as Geo, but still has some of the speed that that we talked about to try and get in against Leo. But now has Eddie, which is a totally different mechanic.
Yeah, and Zato getting some buffs in this version of the game as well, getting a combo off his jab as well, and that 6P in general getting buffed up, as well as the claps, able to cancel Eddie moves into one another very, very quickly in this version of the game.
But
oh, nice recognition right there.
I did not even think about how they both can reflect projectiles. So that's a totally different game. So Leo can reflect and Zato can reflect. So there's going to be a lot of reflected projectiles going on. Oh, nice RC.
I really like.
Gets the wall break.
Yeah, that was really smart as well, because he's going to prevent him from bursting with that super. But Ackerall still has it. He goes with the command throw. He's really trying to make sure he doesn't have an option to burst in these last instances of damage. Oh, but he canceled in the super. That's going to bypass the pose entirely. This man Ackerall is smart.
Just wake up super. Why not? If it works, it works.
Yeah, oppose absorbs a lot of strikes, but it doesn't absorb throws, and supers go right through it. So good stuff. But you can see there it absorbed the DP, but no punish, unfortunately.
Yeah, so just... I was going to say it was just blocking a lot, but uses the super and the wall break for the extra damage. That...
I can't believe he ended up living. Yeah, the purple bead damage. I don't know if they addressed that in the patch. I don't think they did. So very, very heavily damaged on there. I think if he went with the other super, he would have died. But either way, it looks like he got him with the chip on that S fireball, which is one of the best projectiles in the game.
That was insane. They just also his Leo's end quotes are some of my favorite. Then again, so are Zato's. But you know, just that all that damage. I cannot believe that Zato had a fraction of health after that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I honestly thought we might have died. I was like, you know, this character, third lowest health in the game for Zato, so definitely can get blown up pretty quick. Oh, nice. I wonder if he thought he was going to keep going under, or maybe just expecting something else. You can see how fast he's able to cancel. Eddie moves into another now, so you can then get the combo with the leap off of the piercer hits.
Yeah, I think that was a really nice change for Zato. And just look at, I just feel like he's able to combo more efficiently and more freely, but still using all that airspace is Sasori right now, and gonna get another wall break. Doesn't even need the wall break.
Yeah, good stuff right there. That's one of the big advantages Zato has in this game, of course. Being able to combo off his normal throw, and normal throws being so potent is definitely a very dangerous tool in his arsenal. Great guard point right there, absorbing the jump H, but he actually got out of the command throw right there. I don't know if it was a backdash or what, but he definitely dodged it.
Yeah, it was very smart gameplay. But there's a grab. He's in that back turn stance, but...
Yeah, it was another command throw attempt that got backdash. Good stuff from Sasori. Scouting is super hard. Oh, backdash to 2D, but I love that PRC to drift forward. However, Oppose is there to absorb the jump normal. You're going to be able to unsummon and then go into the amorphous big damage. He has full Eddie meter here as well. Just trying to keep his distance. Doesn't want to put his hand in the blender. He goes with the triple pierce and the 6H afterwards. I don't know if he even wanted that 6H, but it worked out how it was supposed to. Cut off the Berserker slash midway through. Well done. The 6H sometimes can come out as like an execution error. As like when you're trying to summon when Eddie meter is gone. So I don't know if he meant to do that or not. But I mean, I think he actually did mean for the 6H, because that was like the perfect thing to do in the scenario.
Yeah, and I do like though that Ackerall was trying to contest some of that airspace that Sasori's been in control of the entire time, like jumping all the way up to try and get something going on. But I feel like Sasori is really in control now.
Yeah, he is looking super good on the Zato. Oh my! Oh, the double frog cancel and go back the other way. That was funny.
Yeah, I love watching these. And just that drift RC to close the gap a little bit. There's another RC in return, but Sasori doing a great job just countering with really small jabs to keep Ackerall out of the range that they want to be at. Unfortunately, gets grabbed into Brunhilder's stance. Super whiffs, make sure you block all the moves.
Yeah, committed to the super at the end there, and he did actually interrupt. So I believe there was one more strike coming out, but there is a gap that you can do in it, or you can expose anyway.
Yeah, you just have to be really careful not to time it wrong. Burst there because Zato lost about half their health.
Yeah, he's definitely was going to be on life support if that combo finished. And to be fair, Ackerall had been trying to hard bait the burst multiple times, and Sasori did a good job still getting it off properly. Oh, got the backdash. Oh no, he's dead off that. That is a guard break move right there. So you can block and get the crumple state, but you can also get hit when you backdash.
Man, these guys are really going for every grab that they can get. I mean, granted, they've been getting incredible damage. There's another early burst because this time Ackerall is missing half their health.
Yeah, exactly.
Sasori is really commanding. When they get a hit, their combos are clean.
Yeah, the back turn 5P netting big reward here, and he actually takes the corner for himself. Big damage to the mid screen, and then goes into the one hit into the super. Oh, that was so smart. I can't believe Zato survived. Magic Pixel life not going to be enough though.
That's the second time he has lived on what I'm assuming is 2 health.
Yeah. And Ackerall, that was like a mad scientist type calculation he was going for too, because he knocked him down in the corner and then took the corner away so he didn't immediately go into a wall splat, into a wall break. And then he took the corner back and went one overhead into super because he knew he was going to get the wall splat on the one hit. Like, that was like super sick calculations. And you mentioned both of these players are getting a lot of throws, and I think both of these characters have massive reward from throw, right? We talked about how Zato can get a combo if he has Eddie out, and then of course back turn stance for Leo you get right after throws. So I think that's a part of why they're going for so many as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's working out really well. It's just, showcasing the combos that you can get off of that and the amount of damage that you can get on a successful throw. I mean, they've also teched each other's throws pretty frequently during these matches, so, I mean, good for them to be aware of what's coming. But, there's an air throw, speaking of which, but doesn't get a whole lot off of it other than pushing Sasori into the corner briefly, but he's Zato. He's out of there.
Ooh, yep, and the 2H from long distance right there, and that's always a lot of damage and a heartbreaker for the opponent when they see that opposed come out and they get counter hit by 2H. Oh, beautiful Berserker Slash to bypass that frog cancel. Very smart, but yeah, using the H Fireball in this matchup is a little bit difficult. Zato's going to be usually scouting it out. Back turn stance, we talked about it, and not going to be able to block in it. Right. Overhead, not going to need to block when you're the one doing the mix-ups. Wall bounce combo, takes the corner again. This is what we talked about before. We're going to side switch. No, stays on the same side. Guard break gets the counter hit and the tumble, and that OTG super will kill him off.
Wow, that was incredible. I mean, I was a little afraid when the wall damage reset after that combo, but Ackerall obviously knew what they were doing, and that's why they're here.
And good stuff sneaking in the dust right there and got the follow-up, but kind of dropped the combo prematurely. He just went with the 5S. Maybe he was expecting Ackerall to burst. 2D to counter hit his 2D, and then the burst completely whiffs that time. He's got the 80 meter to cancel as well. Tries to go to oppose, but yeah, Ackerall's been so good at combating that with the Berserker Slash. It just takes him out of the range of oppose entirely.
Yeah, just good awareness on both player sides, honestly, to know where you're at. A burst, but unfortunately gets punished. They were kind of expecting it. But the corner now switches into Sasori's favor. What can he get off of it? Oh, what a DP to get out of that situation, and thrown.
The flash kick into the throw. Ackerall taking it 3-1. Yeah, that was really good stuff. I love seeing Sasori on Zato. I hope he sticks with the character because I definitely see the foundation of a fine Zato player there. But unfortunately for him, Ackerall was really good at the matchup. Like, there was a lot of the times where he beat oppose outright in different ways. Like, we saw the super early on to kind of bypass the strike invul of oppose. And then, I think this might be in this situation actually. Hold on. Yeah, because he lives here, and then he does a cancel. Yeah, right here he does oppose, and then super. Like, I don't have to worry about oppose absorbing any strikes when it's a super input. So he exposed it there. We saw the Berserker Slash a couple of times, one that gets thrown there. But often when Sasori set up the Berserker Slash, or excuse me, the oppose on top of him, he just used the slash to get out of that AoE where the strikes get absorbed. So yeah, he was very good. He combated the matchup very well.
Yeah, he did, and I mean, just looking back through these replays, you could really see how strong both players were with their characters. And, knowing the ins and outs and the combo routes and what they could do, utilizing their meter for all of the different RCs, making sure they knew, when we're going to burst bait and things like that, or when they're going to save burst because you're on round 2 and you're not going to live, so you need it for round 3. But honestly, Ackerall did such a good job learning where Sasori wanted to be and was able to do these incredible wall breaks and just rush in when Sasori hadn't recovered all the way to get a game and things like that.
Yeah, and then again, look at this, like the calculations, just the fact that he was prioritizing putting the opponent back mid-screen to get as much damage possible rather than breaking the wall. It just shows you where Ackerall's head's at. Like, my man is definitely a couple of steps ahead of the meta in certain ways. And then the flash kick, such a good challenge there. Like, Zato's, when they get Eddie on top of you, it's rare that they're gonna hard bait your flash kick like that. They have to be really ready for the matchup, and you can see Ackerall ready for the matchup on his side. Gonna be advancing into the winner's semifinals. Gonna be waiting for the winner of Carlos versus Heapski, one of the finest Kais in Europe. We got R-Mix, Yamato, Rolo, Retro, Sasori in the lower bracket. Definitely a lot of familiar names here in the EU side of things.
Yeah, so getting to look at this top 8 bracket, I mean, we're gonna have some exceptional matches. I'm particularly excited about the Rolo Retro matchup because that's gonna be, if they keep the same characters, that's gonna be Mei versus Sol, and they were both pretty dominant in the top 16 matches that we saw, which is what we're going to get right now, so I don't have to wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Hooray.
It's going to be two characters slugging it out, bro. Mei versus Sol. Ugh.
Yeah, so in just thinking back on those top 16 matches, Rolo did a really great job with an incredibly speedy Mei. You know, just going in, mixing up the Totsugekis with some really nice dust combos, had some incredible wall break combos as well. But Sol, on the other hand, or Retro with their Sol, on the other hand, did Sol things and had some really great pressure as well. And I think that these two are just, it's hard to say which way this is going to go because they're both such dominant players.
Yeah, 100%, right? And one of the things that we didn't really see Flame utilize in his matchup up against Retro was the FDing on the far S, right? My man Sol gets pushed back a pretty far distance now. So he was kind of panicking, I think, a little bit, just kind of getting maybe some post-traumatic stress from the previous version of Sol, where you had to really try very hard to get out of the far S pressure. Now it's a little bit easier, but we'll see if Roll utilizes that, of course, as we catch up to the current space and time.
Yeah, so this is wild already. Like, in just a second, Sol is down to around half their health, but now Mei is going to be on a lot less health as well. Doesn't have a burst. Blue RC doesn't really get a lot out of it.
No, super smart using the Bandit Bringer to avoid that.
Yeah, the Bandit Bringer into the TekkenFlame. Oh, but didn't hit the wall break fast enough, so Mei's still here.
Yeah, you can actually see the significant change on the Bandit Bringer right there. My man's is like stuck in that animation for a significantly longer time than he was previously.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, but
just getting hit. Yeah, more Gunflame trying to keep. Oh, there's Bandit Bringer again. It's that neutral and then air backdash Bandit Bringer that's been paying off dividends for Retro. We saw it in the first time they were on stream, just saw it again.
Yeah, it's so good. Wow, Vertical Dolphin actually beating the instant air dash there. Oh no, trying to commit to the 6H and he got whiff punish for it. Faf near for the guard break. Plus 11 or some nonsense like that. Oh, wow, actually challenging with the 6P. That's good stuff too. Back to back with a Rolo, utilizing it effectively.
Yeah. Oh, Bandit Bringer right into the DP. All right, let's see if we can get the wall break. Nope. Damage reset throws out of the corner. Ooh, that was a risky DP, but did not die from it.
Yeah, we're staying alive for now, but the far S catching him right after the attempted overhead. But yeah, Rolo falling to Retro to start it off. And I mean, that's what we expected on the side of Retro, right? My man is definitely looking like a monster on that Sol as per usual. Really just taking it to his opponent constantly. We saw a lot of Fafnir pressure. Bandit Bringer, as you highlighted time and time again, he really just catches his opponent off guard, right? I like seeing Rolo use the 6P on the ground to challenge the far S, challenge the 6S. We might need to see it try to challenge the Bandit Bringer a bit though as well.
Yeah, so with Mei, I mean, what's an effective button for them to challenge Bandit Bringer with?
Yeah, it's tough. I think anti-airing Bandit Bringer with 6P traditionally, like it's upper body invul, so you can do it. I think it's worth trying a couple of times. 2H I think is pretty decent as well. It might trade, but it's better than getting bullied outright.
Yeah, I mean, anything's better than getting bullied.
Oh no, speaking of bully, that's all we're seeing this round. My man Retro gonna be wall breaking here. Pretty much doesn't have a scratch on him, and Mei, the 5K anti-air on the other side. It did not get to play pretty much.
Yeah, that's just oof. That is a lot of oof. Jeez, that was so much damage so quickly. All right, so Sol. Ooh, nice counter. I was gonna say something about Sol doing in the corner, but you know, Mei's back in the corner. I think Rolo tried to challenge it, but unfortunately didn't go well for them.
Wow, the back throw, all right. Ran up on him and he got tossed to the corner. Nice challenge on the DP. He let you know in his name on Guilty Gear Strive, baby. He's not going to stop doing it.
Yeah, so that time she was on the wall. Retro chose a button that would hit, so it didn't reset the wall break pressure. God, Gunflame takes her out. And that may have been the fastest game of Strive I've ever seen. Every time, you know, Retro speed ran the first set, and they are really speed running this one as well.
Yeah, right. That's the type of game he likes to play as Soul. He just wants to get in there, pressure you, really test your defense, right? What type of options are you going to go for? How are you going to challenge my pressure? And even with the 4S nerfs, I feel like a lot of Souls are kind of okay with it because it makes them play in a different way that they kind of want to play. I feel like a lot of the time, doing the 4S, they did it because it was the most effective strategy. Now they got to think a little bit more, and they're okay with that, honestly. Retro Mixup is a long-time Soul player. He's going to have a lot of different ways to approach a matchup and the opponent. He's not going to get bogged down just because one of those main routes of pressure has been toned down a bit.
Right. So this one going a little bit more back and forth. Oh, golly. TekkenFlame and Bandit Bringer is just like, I mean, I know it's the core of Soul's game, but it's just so good still.
Yeah. The Bandit Bringer, again, you can really just see it's catching Rolo, being a little bit anxious. He's trying to commit to offensive options a little bit too early, or I should say defensive options. Either way, Retro with a great side switch, Volcanic Viper to get the wall splat, and the jump D for the kill. My goodness, set point just like that.
Yeah, the wall bounce, wall break is really impressive. I think it's the second time we've seen it in this set, and it still looks so cool.
Look at that. He is just like oppressing the opponent, never letting them breathe at all, just dashing up after getting hit in the 5K. You see jumping forward, like my man's is just trying to stay in there.
Yeah, really, Rolo is trying new options. They're trying new things, and it's working a little bit. Look at, Retro had burst. Air grab.
Just Night Raid to traverse the screen immediately into the PRC, trying to stay aggressive. Look at Bandit Bringer runs to the other side, like the aggression is high level at the moment. But the Totsugeki gonna calm that down into the RC for the kill, and you can see you can be a little bit over aggressive too, and Retro was exactly that last round.
Yeah, definitely. That over-aggression is definitely a thing that can plague certain characters, and Soul is one of them. Rolo trying to jump over these Gunflames now, which I think is pretty smart, but unfortunately gets caught and is now in the corner. Oh, gets low. Totsugeki resets to mid-screen, doesn't land the dust. Oh, Bandit Bringer all the way to the corner.
Wow, oh my goodness, Retro. Man, this dude is gross. The BRC in neutral like that, and he was like, okay. So when you BRC next to someone and you slow them down, there's a couple of options that quickly run through your mind. So throw is the fastest option in this game, right? 2 frames. So a lot of the time when people are next to each other, the level 1 game is to mash throw. So we've kind of evolved beyond that. So now a lot of the times players are like jumping or doing something else to try to avoid those throws, backdash, whatever have you. My man Retro was like, I am going to DP. It's in my name. I'm going to show you that once again, I'm not afraid of anything. And I mean, the throws can beat DPs, right? But in the BRC situation from that distance, I think it's going to be very hard. And as I said, we've kind of evolved past that at that state. So players are trying to do other things than just throw now. So DP just beat whatever Rolo was trying to do right there. And I mean, he's just ready for all these interactions.
Yeah, so, I mean, just looking back through these playthroughs, Retro is looking incredibly strong right now. Just these wall break combos, just the awareness of where they are on screen, what, meter and utilities that they've got on hand, and just, I don't know if they've got somewhere to be or what, but they are running this game quickly.
You can see the awareness for the side switch into the wall combo. Oh, beautiful stuff from Retro Mixup, honestly. Fafnir just bullying him. This round was real tough for Rolo. He got clipped by backdash on the 6S even before that backdash on the Fafnir. But this was, the round was close. Great block on the dust as well. And then again, just turning him to the corner. This is what I was talking about, BRC. It's the DP to beat that 2K. And then once again, the command throw to beat a throw mash or anything like that. That was just really good stuff from Retro Mixup. He will also be in winter semifinals.
Yeah, so taking a look here at our top 8 bracket. In the upper bracket, we still have Carlos 1542 and Heapski to go against each other. Winner of that faces Ackerall, who had an incredible Leo. And then Armmix 27 versus Yamato La File. In the next one, they're going to face Retro Mixup. So I hope whoever wins that one is ready for the speed run. And then so lower bracket, Sasori and Rolo still in it. So we are holding on. look, I mean, we're going to have some incredible matches here today. And this is just the start. This is just, you know, we're in EU now and we have some great matches and we're going to have fantastic Guilty Gear on this channel all day today.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to join us on this fantastic Guilty Gear adventure in the future, you can go to compete.playstation.com. That's where you're going to be able to sign up for these monthly series, the open series for Guilty Gear Strive, and all kinds of fighting games and competitive video games even beyond that. So again, it's compete.playstation.com. Check it out right now because we're going to give you a chance to do so. We're going to take a quick break here on PlayStation, and we'll be back with more of the Winners Bracket matches. Please do not go anywhere. And welcome back to another edition of the PlayStation Tournaments, this time for Guilty Gear Strive EU Edition. The action has already been fuego. I am Range, this is Jadalyn, and we are having a great time already.
We really are. I mean, we've been able to see some incredible matches, get some great representation of the cast so far. And speaking of incredible matches, let's take a look at the bracket, see where we are right now. So we have finished up one part of the upper bracket there. So our Heapski took it over Carlos 1542 3-2 and is going to be facing Ackerall in the quarterfinals, and then, or in the semifinals, excuse me. So we haven't finished the Yamato versus Armix 27 fight, but they're going to be facing Retro Mix-Up. And then we have our lower bracket, Carlos versus Sasori, and Rolo waiting for the loser of the match that we're hopefully about to see.
Yes, indeed. We'll see what we're going to have up next. Of course, it has been a loaded bracket. As you mentioned, we've seen heavy hitters. We've seen Retro Mix-Up on the Soul. We've seen Leo. We've seen some Zato. We've seen Mei, Nogoriyuki, all kinds of characters that have been doing massive damage. It looks like next we're going to get Ackerall versus Heapski, which is definitely a match I'm looking forward to a lot. It's going to be our first winner semifinals match for top 8, see who gets into that winners finals. And again, we've already seen Ackerall do massive damage in the PlayStation Tournament Series. You can see 7-0 when it comes to the win rate. My man has definitely taken multiple of these for himself already on that Leo. And then on the other side, Heapski hasn't competed in these plenty himself. You can see 10-5, 67% win rate, but he has been putting in work with that Kai as well. And we are going to get into it already.
I'm excited. I've mentioned earlier in the broadcast I'm a Kai player, so I'm hoping to get some good ideas. Kai got some nice buffs. His stun dipper now more reliably hits twice rather than just on that first hit. He's got more follow-up options on Far S, so it just feels like there's a lot more flexibility in his gameplay, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that works against Leo. Now, Leo can reflect a lot of those projectiles that Kai does throw out, so gotta be aware of that. So let's see how it goes in this one.
Indeed. We'll see how it goes. Already going to be looking to establish his own fireball game. You can see very good stuff with that S fireball. So fast. 2 hits as well. Just a monster in the neutral game. However, Heapski getting the knockdown, putting the heavy stun edge on him instead. Got the shock stay, but not going to make the most out of it. Instead, gets hit himself. Take it to the wall. Didn't quite get that hit that he was looking for in the stance cancel.
Yeah, so the 2K2D into Stun Dipper is a really great counter when Leo is in Brunhilder stance because he can't block it. Yeah. So that was one of the things that I was looking for when Leo goes into that back turn stance. Unfortunately, though, Heapski taking a lot of damage here and is not going to get any more out of that one nice counter.
Oh, you start. Oh my goodness, Ackerall embodying every Leo player that has ever existed. The flash kick and a flash kick, berserker slash and a berserker slash, then the command throw. This is, oh, Heapski finally granting some reprieve to himself with a DP of his own.
Ooh, great wall break. Unfortunately, loses with the wall bounce. Oh, gets a counter.
He tried to bait the burst, and he just got flash kicked after. My God. This was like so much mental damage here. If Heapski could survive this round with a W, I mean, I applaud him. Fortunately, he can't.
Ooh, that's... Jeez. I mean, we saw Ackerall is not afraid to air throw in the first time that we saw them on stream, but they're certainly not afraid to do it now. Holy moly.
He's not afraid of anything as far as I'm concerned.
No, I mean, every time that Heapski got something going, like got that 2K2D stun dipper, or, you know, got that really cool wall bounce, was getting the wall break damage, almost had it, unfortunately dropped it, and Ackerall was like, cool, it's my turn, and you will never have a turn again.
Yeah, pretty much. Just wild stuff, to say the least. Ackerall really unleashing the beast in that last round. We'll see how it kind of wears on Heapski's mental for the rest of the set here. You kind of have to try to forget about that, but at the same time, like, you got to keep in mind the decisions that he's willing to make, right? But you can see Ackerall starting this set. Oh my goodness, he is so smart. Like, he has started this round so disciplined, was just blocking everything out, and then once it got to the point where he felt like he was gonna start busting out with something, instead of doing like a flash kick, he did a dash up throw. And it's like, yeah, Ackerall is very good. Yo, and he's so, like, he just implants these thoughts into your brain and then uses those expectations against you.
Yeah, he's definitely training Heapski to react a certain way, and then as soon as Heapski starts reacting, he changes it. It's a perfect game plan.
The conditioning for real. This is plus frames, so it doesn't matter if you're just blocking here. Yeah. Oh, nice DP challenge.
Yeah, unfortunately, after that DP, chose to use that close stun or the close projectile, so didn't put him in a shock state, so you don't have that advantage of extra damage. And again, Ackerall's ready. Ackerall is never put on the back foot, it feels like. Throw into the corner in Brunhilder's stance.
Yeah, good challenge.
Yeah. The slow stun edge is an interesting choice from Heapski. I'm wondering like what he wants to get off of that. Yeah, right here, it's not hitting every time.
Yeah, definitely a little bit misspaced, mistimed, but either way on that instance, it just got flash kicked right through, right? So he's got to be careful of the distance in which he does it. He's going to be able to the shock state that time, but again, it's really not rewarding enough offense for him. And Ackerall with the dunk down Liger Bomb, trying to get the RC for the full kill, can't quite find it, but the back turn S will put a stop sign up on whatever Heapski wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what Heapski's trying to accomplish with that. The slow stun edge, trying to get him into the shock state, which does get you more damage when you're using your special moves on Kai. But, he could get more damage off of something else and then put his opponent into shock state. So I'm wondering if, maybe he can make that mental adjustment, because right now we're seeing kind of the same combo routes out of Kai or out of Heapski as Kai, and Ackerall just keeps changing the game plan.
Yeah, exactly. Every time Heapski thinks he's like got a clue on what he's about to do, Ackerall like goes to the opposite end of the spectrum.
Right, so there got into the stun dipper, but unfortunately now it's Ackerall's turn. Gets a grab, just kind of, okay, that was nice with that jump heavy slash, got a little bit of damage there. Actually got a pretty significant bit of damage. It might be the most that he's gotten so far in one of these matches. That is a really nice combo.
Yeah, going with the meaty on the flip kick as well. Try to close that distance. Berserker slash, put him towards the corner. You're just staying in the back turn. Oh my goodness, he finally realized that he had enough room to press a button. And once he did, he got counter poked by that back turn S.
Okay. So Leo in that shock state, keeping him there, but gets DP'd. Oh, YRC. It's a choice.
Indeed. Oh, ends up getting tech thrown as well. So that's the back turn. Oh, gets to the other side. Just hits him with the back turn S again. Ackerall now on set point.
Yeah, I mean, Ackerall playing really well, but Heapski finally making some adjustments here, not going for that slow, heavy slash stun edge. And I think it's been going a lot better for him.
Yeah, trying to get to the other side again. The Berserker slashes. Oh, no. Nice backdash to avoid that overhead at that point. Try to get the parry going, but And now Heapski gonna get the wall. Very close to wall splat here.
There's that jump heavy slash, gets the wall break. Ackerall does have full tension. Block, make sure you block the whole thing. RC's it just because he knew it didn't hit. Oh boy, dash, he didn't for the grab. That was the same thing he did last time. Dash went for a grab. Heapski had burst to get out of there. What do we got?
Nice.
Oh, such good awareness on the side of Heapski.
Yeah, using the 6P upper body invul at that last moment while he got slowed down. That was the only thing that was really going to get him out of that situation. Maybe a DP as well, but chose the right option.
Oh, so there was that double dash again, but this time Ackerall chose not to grab, changed up his pressure again. This conditioning is ridiculous.
Yeah, but then the wall break super, that's plus frames off the wall break. Oh, good throw tech. Challenge with the flash kick once again. PR seeing on the fireball. Respected Heapski because he saw that he got something off, but not enough. We just trying to put that stop sign up on the S. Ended up getting hit out of back turn for now. Still though, Heapski got so long to go and he can't even get started on the route. Ackerall 3-0 to put himself in winners finals, and he continues that undefeated streak that you saw leading into this match.
Yeah, Ackerall has been playing so well. I think one of the advantages that they have as a player, not just a Leo player, but as a player, their ability to condition their opponent. I mean, one thing that you had pointed out in one of the first games of that set was the way that he was dashing through his opponent and then went for a grab. And then as soon as that didn't work in one of the later sets, he changed up his game plan. Being able to make those decisions so quickly in a live match is incredible mental fortitude.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Ackerall this whole set, right? Like, adjusting as soon as Heapski showed that he was going to change up his game plan to deal with something that had been plaguing him. And then even before Heapski got a chance to change some things, he was a step ahead of him. So Ackerall just looking like the monster that we know he is here on the PlayStation Tournament Series, and has put himself in the driver's seat. He's going to get paid at the very least. A top 3 finish is guaranteed. But, I mean, I see a first place in his future if someone can't step up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that people are going to have to work really hard, and I hope that they're watching the way that he plays because, I mean, look at this. The way that he never did that, break the rest of the time, that triple break that we just saw.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid, like we said, to grab in the air. So sitting pretty in the upper bracket finals, waiting for whoever the winner of Yamato versus Retro is. So off stream, Yamato did take it against Armix 3-1. So I'm excited to see what Yamato plays because Retro might be the stop sign that Ackerall needs.
Yeah, Retro has been a monster so far that we've seen. We see him take down Rolo 3-0. The set he had before that against Flame, he took him down 3-0. So Retro is definitely one of the most dangerous competitors we have here at the PlayStation Tournament, and he is going to be going up against Yamato, as you mentioned. I'm very interested as well to see who he's got. Hopefully it's a character that could deal with like Retro in a way, right? Obviously Retro's going to be bringing Soul, and Yamato's going to be bringing the Mei again. Okay, so he already defeated one Mei in Rolo, so we'll see if Yamato hopefully was watching that match, as you mentioned, to try to get some get a game plan going that will be more effective than what Rolo brought to the table.
Right, yeah, because if fundamentally the Mei play isn't different, it's not going to work out real well for them. Retro, however, 18 wins, 2 losses out of that. Geez, 90% win rate, that is pretty spectacular out of all of that. And you can see why in the games that we've already seen. I mean, maybe that Retro versus Rolo match that whole set maybe lasted 4 minutes, if that. I mean, he's got a need for speed, and he is running through this bracket so quickly. So Yamato needs to, I feel like, bring something fundamentally different with their Mei gameplay in order to counter what Retro brings as Soul.
Yeah, exactly. Like Retro has been really utilizing a lot of Bandit Bringer that we saw, 6S, just in general Fafnir, a lot of these things that are taking him across the screen, whether it be a special move or one of the long-reaching normals that Soul has. So I want to see if our Mei player can kind of beat him to the punch in certain scenarios, see if like hyper-aggressive Totsugeki type offense kind of shut that down, or if he's going to be ready for some Bandit Bringer counters, because that's what Rolo really didn't have, right? We didn't see a lot of the 6Ps, we didn't see a lot of the 2Hs, or, he was going to really need that up against the style that Retro brings to the table.
Right, but so far we are seeing Retro do Retro things, just running their game plan. There's a little bit more frequent Totsugekis coming out of Yamato, and we're seeing a little bit more damage. Unfortunately, didn't punish as much that DP as much as I would have liked to have seen from Yamato, but okay, still had a burst, was able to get out of there. Uh-oh.
Ouch.
Wall break combo, he's got these.
Yeah, most definitely. Retro gonna be able to seal that first round. Yeah, Yamato, I don't know if they were looking for a big gold burst at the end there. That would have really changed the tides, but the fact that it was just a regular burst and didn't have any meter to follow that up was real rough.
Ooh, gets a throw. That's one of the first times I've seen Retro get thrown by somebody. So, already seeing a little bit of different Mei gameplay out of Yamato, which I like. Another throw, wasn't expecting it. I like the 5P to try and just test if Retro is hitting a button or not. This is, okay, aggressive Totsugeki.
We talked about it, right? That's what we alluded to. We're going to see the hyper-aggressive Totsugeki game right there. Vertical dolphins, horizontal dolphins. Every angle you're looking at is dolphin.
Right, you got a 360-degree dolphin show today. But here is Retro, and they're ridiculously high damage combos. But I feel like Yamato is just not put off by this. Counter in the corner. Ooh, countered back.
That was so smart. Yeah, not going to be taking the beach ball setups instead, just waking up with a 9-rate vortex. Doesn't punish the Orca, and the burst is going to actually beat the super. So that was huge for Yamato right there. Definitely should have been dead, but we are getting extra chances at life.
Yeah, for sure. There. Ooh, see, counters with that 5P, just testing the neutral. Are you going to hit a button?
Oh,
nice counter in the
beach.
air. Totsugeki. Ooh, Retro still had burst, so could get out of that. PRC gets slowed down. Counter. More Totsugeki.
Right, yeah, the Totsugeki and the 2S stuffed it. Oh, yeah, Fafnir here. Oh, the 2S doesn't matter if it's nerfed. That's still the security blanket for May players, and they brought it out when they needed it the most. Good stuff, sealing that first game.
Wow, that was so much awareness to know, like, how much health do I have? How much recovery does Soul have after swinging this move? Can I hit him with the low? You know, it's just things you have to know. And I mean, as a May player, you're probably going to run into a bunch of Souls. But to know how much recovery your opponent has and what buttons you have that are fast enough to punish that is so important. And Yamato knew. So I think we're seeing the changes that needed to be made to counter Retro Soul.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to point out, besides what we've already talked about, is that during the backdash that got PRC'd, it hit the backdash. The slowdown hit the backdash. So I think May could have gone with a far S and punished it, but he actually just like didn't do anything. I think he was respecting the backdash recovery, but definitely can expose those backdashes if they get slowed down. Wow, 6 heavy slash. That is definitely one of the popular round starters for Soul bad guys, especially when they are in the mood to party.
Golly, you know, you blink and somebody's lost two-thirds of their health. You've got to pay attention. But I feel like Yamato is, you know, just ready to square up with Retro. Look at this wall break. Super for the extra damage.
Yeah, that's going to be
Soul
plus for
still
him,
alive. Golly, this pressure, like, just straight down Totsugeki. This is not the May that Retro is used to facing.
Definitely not. Yamato's did a good job of stuffing a lot of 9-rate vortexes too, whether it be with like 2D or like one of these low buttons. So he's kept in mind this matchup. Oh, but you can see people are still not used to the Bandit Bringer change. Like he like backdash afterwards. He can definitely take his turn.
Yeah, and I think that's something that, you know, when you bring that, Retro was not doing as well, taking their turn. Okay, counter. Keeping May in the corner. Gold burst. This could be huge. Yeah, RC can still super after this if they want. Oop. Didn't link it, so PRC.
Unfortunate. Wow, just after the 2H whip, just went with the up dolphin. Mans is being a monster right now. Really kind of throwing Retro Mix Up off of their rhythm.
Yeah, so... Oh, wow. So the gun flame recovery was long enough that they could get a fast Totsugeki out.
Nice.
Grab unfortunately does kill there, but I like some of the adjustments that Retro Mix-Up is making here. Oof, but Yamato's looking really strong right now.
Yeah, most definitely. Beach ball avoided, and yeah, whenever he avoids the beach ball, he usually tries to come down with a Bandit Bringer. Finally, a 9-rate vortex finds its mark, and the backdash getting clipped by the far S. That means we're already in the corner. 6P challenge, though, going to send him across the screen, and converting off that Drift RC back to try to bait the burst, but Retro's going to hold on to it for now. To the corner we go. Actually does get hit by the beach ball. He's been doing such a good job avoiding that. Not avoiding the jump H, just avoiding all contact with the burst, and that's the exact avoidance you don't want to have.
No, I mean, I was a little afraid there when the when Soul was in that wall break combo and bounced a little too far, and I was like, oh no, what's Yamato gonna do? And Yamato's like, I got a plan, and was able, like, the ability to know if my opponent bounces too far off of this, what I'm gonna follow up with is crazy good. Like, honestly, I thought Retro was just gonna run a train through this bracket, and Yamato said no.
Yeah, Yamato's done a great job of putting an obstacle in his way. We talked about, yeah, Retro being the obstacle for Ackerall, but he had to get past his own first, and it is not looking likely at this point. He's got to run the 3 games straight back. Retro, we've seen him. He'll be capable of doing so. But right now, I mean, Yamato just looks so good, has been willing to adjust. It's definitely been a hard-fought set so far.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, too, is that Yamato's often lost a lot of health in the beginning, and that just does not deter them. The The Totsugekis have been really great. Just that overhead. God, just get hit by an anchor. Jeez.
Yeah, the
That hurts your
5H
soul.
got buffed in this version of the game. I like Yamato seeing it used.
Yeah, a little bit of a stagger there, but not too much. So now Totsugeki.
3 dolphins, 5 dolphins, or 6 dolphins. Those have been the last 6 hits for Yamato. We're just 7, excuse me, have been all raw dolphins.
And you know what? If it works, it works.
Facts.
And also it was something they hadn't done. Ooh,
No,
gold burst. Oh, just hit him with the light punches. That's actually something we haven't seen from Retro, testing the waters there, like literally.
Oh my goodness. Still staying alive. He actually got a gold burst off as well. Oh, did get the tap dust into the RC. Not going to be close enough to the wall to get the extension that they're looking for. Fakes the TekkenFlame, tries to test it with the Totsugeki. Still anybody's game, and the Bandit Bringer steals it like the name implies.
Yeah, that gold burst completely reset the round, and good on Retro to be able to utilize every bit of that meter. But yeah, I feel like Yamato's kind of mad now.
That was a 6-6P on the Bandit Bringer. Not gonna get any type of thievery going this time around.
Yeah, ooh. Just their backdashes have been so crucial right now. Ooh, that was tense. It's always really tense when nobody does anything.
Yeah.
Trying to go for a grab? Yep.
Oh,
Retro
no.
has full tension meter.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised he didn't use some of it on the RC there. He got the burst back at the very end, but great stuff from Yamato keeping aware of that fact. Like that actually, he bursted on the hit that it was built, and Yamato was still aware enough to block it and punish it. Great stuff.
That was, I mean, like I said during the match, I was expecting Retro to really go far in this bracket. We were talking about Ackerall versus Retro. Yamato just said, no, it's gonna be me versus Ackerall, and now you have to completely change what you're talking about, which I'm excited. Let's take a look at this again to show how Yamato made it into that winner's final.
Yeah, you see the PRC right there, just at a distance far enough away where they didn't really have to worry about the DP, and because of the slowdown, it made the punish extra easy. Again, you can see how many DPs were baited and punished, really just threw Retro mix off. That's the situation I was talking about, where he might have gotten a punish of that backdash, but you can see the 2 S's, the 2 Ds, they really stuffed a lot of the Night Raid pressure that was coming out from Soul as well, and then just another 2S.
Yeah, it's just watching the way Yamato plays Mei, just not afraid to push buttons, but they aren't wild. You know, everything is calculated. You know, checking spacing with fast buttons that are close. You know, using things that we hadn't seen, like some of those jump buttons to create different kinds of pressure, like ambiguous mix-ups and stuff. It's really cool to see the way that they're playing Mei so differently than what we've seen out of Rolo, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Look, the Jump H is my man. Just was catching anchors and dolphins constantly. The Night Raid Vortex, that was so good to get underneath the beach ball right there. Because he had been like kind of like seeing the beach ball and then jumping a lot of the time and going like a Bandit Bringer mind game. So it was really good to bust out the Night Raid after that many decisions have been made. The 5H just stomping him out as well. Buffed in this version.
Yeah, it's, you know, it wasn't like Retro wasn't trying to make adjustments. It wasn't like they were just playing the same game plan and hoping it worked. It was just that Yamato was ready the entire time. So taking a look here at the bracket, lower bracket has been updated. Sasori took it 3-1 over Carlos, and Armix took it 3-0 over Rolo. So unfortunately, that's the end of the road for Rolo and Carlos, but, you know, glad we at least got to see Rolo play a little bit today. And then in our upper bracket, we have now surprising Ackerall versus Yamato.
Indeed, indeed. I can't wait to see that one. It's going to be Leo versus Mei. Going to be a slobber knocker, of course. And yeah, you can see we've gone over some of the stats from our players. Ackerall, Heapski, Retro. They've all entered plenty of these PlayStation tournaments. And if you want to start entering the PlayStation tournaments, you can go to compete.playstation.com. That's where you're going to be able to sign up for free on these Guilty Gear Strive monthly tournaments that have been built up to this final now. And of course, you can find all kinds of stuff there for Blaze Blue Cross Tag, Under Night Inbirth, and the video games, even beyond fighting games, all in that competitive sphere on compete.playstation.com. So we'll give you a chance to do that as we get our winners finals match prepared. We'll be right back here on PlayStation with that match. Please do not go anywhere.
Can't you see I'm blazing? Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world over you. My time is right word. Your words will never let me disappear. That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world over you. Soon you will know. We already know the smell of the, know the smell of the, know the smell of the, know the smell of the game.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the PlayStation Open Series monthly final for Guilty Gear Strive. We have already had a heck of a bracket so far. We are closing in on the end of it for EU already though, and I'm kind of sad because we've really seen some amazing stuff. So let's check out the bracket and see where we're at.
Yeah, this has been a great matches all the way through so far. We've seen Ackerall just run rampant with that Leo, 3-1 over Sasori, 3 over Heapskeep. And then Yamato in similar fashion, right? His top 16 opponent 3-1, and then his top 8 opponent 3-0. So I mean, these are two heavy hitters, and you can see the way the lower bracket has played out as well. Sasori staying alive on that Zato, going to be facing Retro Mix up next. Quite the challenge for him. And then Armix able to take down Rolo and survive to go up against Heapski soon as well. I forgot who Armix plays, but he's been entering these as well. I think it's Ram, if I'm not mistaken.
That'd be cool. We haven't seen a Ram yet, and we haven't really gotten to talk about the changes that she's had to her character, which, you know, a lot of people at the start of all of this, of when, you know, Strive was coming out, was like, man, Ram has a lot of really cool stuff. haven't seen her as much as I would have liked, honestly. So I'm hoping that we do get to see that. So up next, we are having Ackerall versus Yamato. And true, Ackerall's Leo has been running a train on people, but Yamato's Mei is not to be messed with.
Yeah, and Yamato has shown he is more than willing to get hyper aggressive right back at him, right? So we've seen Ackerall show fearlessness, just willing to let the flash kicks rip after flash kick. And I mean, it's going to be met with someone that is pretty much as willing to go wild with Yamato. And the poll says that 62% of y'all at home are favoring Yamato in this. Of course, Ackerall, undefeated in the PlayStation Tournament Series. You saw 7-0 going into this, already picked up a couple of dubs today as well. So he's building up. I'm favoring Ackerall until I can see someone take him off his pedestal. But I mean, we might see it right now with Yamato just because of how aggressive they are as well.
Yeah, I mean, prior to seeing Yamato play, I'd have been like, no, Ackerall's got this. But Yamato just had some oppressive gameplay that really took me by surprise. And if anybody can take out Ackerall, I think Yamato can do it.
Yeah, most definitely. We're gonna see. I already like how much Ackerall is putting out. Yeah, these S fireballs. He's like, okay, oh, the headbutt, that close S hit from so far up right there. I don't even think Ackerall was expecting to get that anti-air.
No, definitely not. Look how okay, so Yamato, we were talking about making adjustments. Look how much more frequently they're in the air than they were in the previous game that we got to see them play. Overhead, oh my goodness, but Ackerall's coming out swinging too. This is crazy.
And the flash kick followed by the flash kick. Ackerall especially likes to go with that when someone blocks their flash kick in the air as well. It definitely is a little bit more difficult to punish, and wow, just expecting him to commit to the Dolphins. Instead, Yamato able to block and punish cleanly. Quick RC, try to stuff out whatever he was going with the 5H. Instead, the jump H comes through once again. Ooh, you gotta respect it. Actually got the wall for himself. Gets the command throw. RC should be able to break the wall and take the kill as well. My goodness, Ackerall. What a command throw.
I cannot believe how quickly that turned around. I thought for sure Yamato had that. Oh wow, Tech to start it off. This is bonkers. And this is winners. Like, this is just winners finals. Like, oh, and this is a really different start. They were both just playing at distance, seeing who could get what hit. Okay, finally, Yamato gets a counter. I say finally, and Ackerall's at half health.
Ooh. Yeah, he's just been eating like straight hits. They've been starting to build up, and now you can see it goes right with the other way as well. Going to be able to cross over and put her back towards the corner now. Again, we talked about this. This is plus frame, so it's all good that she blocked PRC. Oh, the YRC. Great PRC to make sure he got out of the AoE of the YRC to get the punish. That's why Yamato had to burst afterwards. Man, these players are good.
Yeah, this is a totally different level. I mean, this is definitely some 5D chess. They really know exactly what they're working with. Blocks, gets
counter.
thrown. This could be a huge turnaround, but Ackerall still has burst. Oh, doesn't need it. Just kicked.
The 2D instead, taking out the ankles right there. Yeah, I mean, it was scary as Mei just kind of be in that position right above flash kick range. But instead of doing that, Ackerall just kind of waited till she landed and then took the 2D as she was coming down. That was very smart. I mean, Ackerall is just one of those players that really rarely goes for the shallow option. He's always looking for the deep end, trying to dig deep in the playbook, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like both of these players, in the matches that we had them in previously, where we're highlighting their ability to make adjustments on the fly and how they can control their gameplay by conditioning their opponent, and seeing them head to head and having to make those adjustments, like just micro adjustments throughout the match, is both really impressive and kind of scary, because like, you know, the way that Yamato is able to change up their pressure with the Totsugekis and with the different neutral options that they've got, and then Ackerall's ready for it, but then they have to make changes with the Leo. It's crazy. So like, keep an eye on who has what tension meter, who's got burst, you know, is Leo in the back stance or not, you know, what does Mei have available, because they are utilizing every single thing on that screen right now.
Yeah, and the charge times are very short in this game too, so of course Mei being a charge character, you can always try to keep that in mind, but more often than not she's gonna have charge available. You know, let the intros rock here. Interesting, and letting the intros rock after they've already played a game. Not the traditional anime style, but nonetheless.
I mean, it's alright.
Yeah.
Get to see intros, that's
Okay.
cool. All right, and just Totsugeki burst, because I was going to say it's an early burst, but when you're at that low health, that's not early. Wall break, change in stage.
Bruh, what happened?
May happen?
Life just completely deleted. I couldn't even tell you what happened, to be honest. Oh, gold burst as well, just in case she wanted to really make sure she won the round.
Yeah, right? And still had meter available, doesn't need it, goes for the low. Look how much health that Yamato had. That was commanding. And kind of demoralizing.
Ooh, and then a great job stuffing the Berserker Slash twice. First with the 2S and the jump H. Ackerall gonna have to find another way in. And while he was thinking about which way that was, Yamato just went up, threw him, then overheaded him. My goodness, this is great stuff. He's got to spin the burst because he's only got one heart available in this game. But man,
right.
He might not get to play anyway.
No, is this... You know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to watch. Oh my God, Yamato playing out of their mind. Perfect.
That's what you were thinking
did not
of, eh?
play.
The perfect was completed. Well done from Yamato. A hell of a bounce back. The best bounce back we've seen all day, to be quite honest with you. I have not seen anyone respond to a loss quite like that. So Yamato has done a good job adjusting, and then in that sequence, I think, or in that game, it was just about not letting the opponent really play. It was offense was the best defense.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the way that Yamato was playing, and just like you said, securing everything with, oh, make sure you have that meter. Yeah, I still have more. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
And then didn't even use part of that tension meter. It hurts a little if you're Ackerall, honestly. So adjustments I feel like Ackerall has to make. Like, first of all, you need to play.
Yeah.
Get in somewhere, get a hit. But I mean, in all seriousness, you've got to stop Yamato's pressure and this fast tempo that they like to establish.
Yes, 100%. That should be the priority here for Ackerall, is to try to take control in the neutral a little bit better. We saw him rely on Berserker Slashes a little bit too heavily, so I want to see if he goes back to that first game. He was throwing a lot of fireballs in that first game, but did not really get the chance to, or did not look for opportunities to do so. Great job. Yeah, you can snuff out that beach ball. You don't just have to take it like that, so good stuff recognizing that with the S. Of course, flashing into flashing. That's been the Ackerall special today.
Yeah, but we are seeing some adjustments now. I like the use of the that vertical hitbox from the hit to get Mei out of the air, but Yamato just doesn't care. Look at all the damage, gets an under. Oh, PRC doesn't get the slow on it just because Mei was so far down.
Yeah, at that point, PRC to try to stay safe, which he did end up doing. Yamato, of course, still taking the round regardless.
Right, so now just... Okay, starting with projectiles, that's different. I respect the choice. Didn't really get anything out of it except to establish, pressure a little bit, but I'll take it because it's different.
Yeah, exactly. It'll make Yamato switch up his approach for sure, especially if you get that life lead early like he has now. Great parry right there. Destroying the Totsugeki from point blank. That's going to give him the full cinematic follow-up. Ooh, and then stuffing the Totsugeki again with the 2K. And yeah, you can see he's trying to put that out a little bit more preemptively now. One of the more reliable tools to stop the Dolphin.
Okay.
Nice!
Oh,
Parried the super.
That hurts. Like, your super got parried. See ya.
That's always a tough pill to swallow, but you got to, man. You got to keep that in mind. That's something that Leo has access to. Fortunately, he cannot parry the burst. He could do it in the last game, so be thankful of that.
Right. Ooh.
Nice,
really nice
RC.
Oh.
Recognized the burst was coming out and punished it.
These guys are so aware of what they're doing. Clocked.
The beach ball to the face. Doesn't need the otter anymore. Got the walrus upgrade. Got a little bit more oomph behind that beach ball, fam.
Yeah, that, oof. Just, really though, every time I think, oh, Yamato's on the back foot, they're not. Yeah, the game was a little bit closer in that second round, but then it was just like, I got it.
They're very comfortable in the chaos, it seems like.
I like that, comfortable in the chaos. They really are, because they're just, they thrive on those sort of split decisions, and it seems like because they thrive on that, they are grounded in their decision making, whereas Ackerall seems like they're struggling a little bit. But I did like what you were saying, sort of checking the spacing with that 2K and trying to see, is Yamato really throwing something out, because it does counter a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Going to be one of your primary tools to counter Totsugeki on most characters, to be honest with you. But again, these flash kicks have not been working out for Ackerall either. Not even challenging the beach ball after we've seen that he's willing to do it before. Counter hit there. PRC after that. I mean, Ackerall looking like he's panicking a little bit.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Waited just a little.
Break.
Yeah, a little too long, but doesn't matter. We've got those.
Yeah, Yamato on set point, and chat's looking good right now. Remember, that was a 62% pull for Yamato. Great 6P on the far S, and then stuffing the 2D with the 2S, picking all the right buttons. Finally, Ackerall finding a hit of his own. Berserker slash to close the distance. She blocked it in the air. Ooh, jump H to stuff that Totsugeki. That was sick.
All right, I was wondering if we were going to see a raw dust there just because May was blocking so much.
There you
but
go.
But there's the dust.
It was right after you willed it into existence.
I did. I'm not mad about it, though. It was a nice combo.
Yeah, definitely got the plus frames afterwards as well because it was the full sequence. Yamato didn't have any burst to get out of the situation. Ooh, Totsugeki, though, it's not over just yet. We got the command throw. Oh, actually just OTG'd. It was the regular throw, perhaps? I don't know. Either way.
Yep, just wow.
Yeah, it was regular throw. My bad. Oh, no. Yamato committing to the gold burst right there. I'm not sure that was execution error or what, but because it didn't make Ackerall block at all, it was an easy 2D punish.
Yeah, really, really easy punish. That was, I don't know if maybe Yamato was expecting them to come in or something like that, or trying for the gold burst, but I mean, I would have been put in a bad headspace, but Yamato just does not care. It's another day in the life, and they're back to doing work. This is set point for them.
Indeed. PRC on the backdash again, but not really trying to punish you with anything there. Yamato is a backdash in some sequences where they've been plus as well. Ooh, I'm wondering if they're just trying to play extra conservative, and they're doing the right thing here, though. Oh my goodness, the jump H, the 2S, the Totsugeki. You just got a 101 class in May right there. Those are her 3 big tools, fam, and you saw them all on display at the end.
That was incredible gameplay, and I mean, just the way that Yamato was, I mean, I don't know if they were burst baiting or what, but that burst did not go well for Ackerall, and May just came in and does what May does best and was a bully. She is tiny, but she's gonna bully you.
Yeah, she's a powerhouse in this game. Do not be fooled by the cover of the book. Oh.
Yeah, so going back through these, I mean, Ackerall definitely had some great Leo gameplay, and they're not out of this, they're just into the lower bracket, but you can definitely see looking back at these why Yamato made it through.
Yeah, 100%. That was a really good recognition right there after the 2D, just dashing up and throwing, but that's what we talked about before, the 2D catching her as she went on the ground for Leo instead. These wall combos, of course, just going straight through to get that positive bonus. May just constantly having meter on her side as well. It's allowed her so much freedom because of those wall breaks. Ooh, the gold burst.
Yeah, such a nice gold burst. And then the drift RC to get more pressure. That low, too. What a nice low.
Yeah, it's just like so demoralizing seeing your opponent. Like when you're trying to fight back and they get a gold burst off, you're like, bruh. Just gives
yeah,
them
especially
so
when
many
you've got
options.
like nothing.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, well, my chances of this just drastically shot down.
And you know, here was after that perfect.
That was a
the
sick
really
parry.
nice parry to the super. Again, would have been demoralized, but Yamato doesn't care. Keeps up the May gameplay, establishes their own tempo, their own pressure. All these Totsugekis.
Ooh, the
And then that
backdash.
burst. Oh. So
Yeah.
here we are looking at the bracket. So you can see that the lower bracket has been updated. Sasori took it over Retro.
Let's go.
3-1. Again, like, really excited to see that because we thought Retro was going to run a train on this. But unfortunately, they're out of it. Armix taking it over Heapski, and now Sasori versus Armix in the lower part of that bracket.
Dang, Retro and Heapski falling. The Soul and the Kai out of the bracket. The protagonist kicked to the curb for some new stars of the show, right? We're going to see Sasori bring out that Zato, hopefully. But I did mention that he plays a Giovanna as well. So I don't know what he's been playing in the losers bracket, one way or the other. We'll see. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Armix plays Ramlethal, but we'll find that out very soon as well. And again, Ramlethal, you mentioned, we haven't really talked too much about her changes. She got Jump HS nerf, which I know a lot of people were pleading for. Still seems like a good button. fun, but definitely, in my experience, a bit easier to anti-air, especially in conjunction with some of the 6P changes, like Zato 6P, like Giovanna's 6P. So I'm definitely interested in see how this plays out.
Yeah, me too. And so it is going to be the Ram. I'm really excited. Compared to other characters in the game, Ram didn't really get a lot touched except for that aerial HS that you had already touched on. There was a couple other things, have some increased forward movement, but against a Geo, I'm curious. I'm just curious to see. I'm not gonna say anything else until we watch it.
We'll see how it goes. And Armix not testing Sasori with a 6P there. Instead, Sasori doing the testing with his power arrow off bat, but a 6P on the air dash. Okay.
Just.
Oh.
Yeah, the thing with Geo is her range is really short, and Ram has a great range. So, countered.
Snap. Okay, Armix. That's the fact that he knew about that. That's pretty dangerous, right? Like that super is so fast, and you can really challenge a lot of the time when people are trying to put you in a pressure sequence. But a lot of the time, that super will also catch the recovery of moves. So it is a very potent tool in Ramlethal's arsenal.
Right, and I mean, a lot of Ram's buttons counter a lot of what Geo can do, especially in that really close range. So I feel like Sasori has to be careful with what they choose to do, but right now, having a hard time getting in against Armix with this Ram.
Yeah, Sasori had the corner for a second. Ooh, gets the 5P, a slight juggle afterwards. We do have the corner again. Not RCing after that whip kick, and that is negative. So Armix recognizing that, taking his turn back. There's the RC after the whip kick. Immediate YRC in response from Armix.
Yeah, this is much more back and forth than that first round. Finally gets a kick, but doesn't... Okay, gets some off of it here. Doesn't complete the wall combo, so you don't get a break after it. And Ram's out of there. Now Geo in the corner a little bit.
Sorry, yeah, jumping up. He's got 50% meter. That was a dangerous jump S from Armix just because she has that air super available. So sorry, not bringing it out just yet, but gotta be thinking about it.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, Sasori has meter in case they need to FD, especially when their here gets the what?
Oh, and it hit. She's breakdance fighting, and it worked out. Armix trying to apply that pressure after getting the sword back and just swung into the super.
I mean, if Wake Up Super works, great. Because I was not expecting that, and I don't think Armix was either. However, I think Armix is a little bit upset about all that because we've already had a wall break, and
that was a great dash DP. It was going to be massive damage. That's why Armix burst real quick. As Sasori trying to hold on to this game, you can see only got one heart left. Can't afford any more damage.
Right. So the positive tension gain is now gone from that wall break, but this is a, easy combo for Ram.
Most definitely. Just deleting the screen with that big special that just takes her all the way across. Heavy recovery on it, but of course, if she had the RC, you don't gotta worry about none of that. And if it hits, then that grants her a full combo. So definitely one of the round enders that Ramlethals usually look for if they do have that RC meter available.
Right. Now, when we first saw Sasori on screen, they had Zato. Did they change or not?
I personally don't like this matchup, or I don't like the Zato Ramlethal matchup. I think Ram has a pretty, or I think Zato has a pretty difficult time. But I say that, however, I've seen a lot of Peppery Splash versus SQ, who are both better than me, and Peppery Splash does just a fine job in the matchup. So I think it's winnable at high level. However, it looks like Sasori is gonna stay with the comfort pick, the Geo for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting when you know somebody plays a secondary character or has somebody like that in their pocket. You know what the mind games are to switch to those characters, or if they're like, I'm gonna ride this out and see how it goes, and this. There's so much to think about. But we're getting back into the same characters, Geo versus Ram. Early burst from that pressure.
Yeah, already. And, you know, burst gets bellowed back up very fast in this game, so a lot of people do like using early bursts to hopefully get another one back before the round ends on certain occasions. See already Sasori trying to apply this pressure in the corner here. Keep it locked and loaded. Does get the throw here. Man, that wrist gauge was cranked too. Ooh, almost at the exclamation point. Ooh. We are asking for help. Now that's what it means. Counter hit on the DP. That's already one of her biggest damage starters. You can see the life melting away with the super and the wall break. I don't think she's living. Not even close.
No, that wrist gauge was absolutely cranked. So much damage came out of that. The really nice one from Sasori there.
Like, she will delete your life bar off of no risk if she gets that starter. So the fact that he was a max risk, oh my goodness. However, you see Armix responding with his own damage, already putting her in Guts range at 90 seconds. Oh, and that counter hit. All right, let's go to round 3 in the blink of an eye.
With a perfect, our second one of the day. That was impressive.
Oh, 100%.
It's always scary, too, when you have those ram swords in the wall and you're stuck. Like, don't block wrong because you're hit.
Yeah. We get the OTG into the safe jump setup, gets the throw as well, and Ram's gonna be bullied right now. She's got no meter to learn the reversal super, but Sasori doesn't commit to anything, tries to get her out of the sky. Double overhead is blocked PRC. Ooh, punish. Instead, we're just gonna get a burst out.
Yeah, I like the burst. It reset the pressure. We're back into neutral, just trying to establish. I think that was a really smart move. Drift RC, keep moving Geo into the corner, gets hit by one sword, picks, and then Ram picked it up, which is great for her now.
Yeah, really good far us, keep it locked down. And again, that time, tried to take her turn a little bit too early. Wasn't expecting the up sword, and then got frisky on the ground, just got stuffed.
Yeah, that was a really nice reset and pressure from Armix. I think they did a great job assessing the situation. You know, the burst, and it looked like, oh, that doesn't seem like a great time to burst because they weren't receiving a lot of the pressure, but reset the neutral, got Geo all the way into the other corner, and then they were able to set up those exploding sword combos, and like I said, if you block wrong, you're in trouble, and they blocked wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, yeah, good stuff right now from both of our players, honestly. It's been a fun set to watch so far in the lower semis. So, Sasori, again, he's got a reset. He'll not thinking about the Zato. Looks like we're going right back into the Giovanna again. Yeah, if you're not comfortable in the matchup, I think it's quite difficult. Like, I think once you get used to it, you can start winning it pretty frequently. Like, you can start going 5-5. But it's one of those things that at the beginning feels really hard for Zato. So I like him sticking with Giovanna. This is the character he's played more. And again, this is top 4 of the tournament, right? He's going to get paid, but he wants an even bigger check. And the way to get that is on the character you're most comfortable with. So we'll see if we get the 3 games run back, or if our man Armix is going to the losers finals.
Yeah, and a really commanding start forces that burst out from Armix almost immediately. So getting a little bit more pressure established with the Geo. But, ooh, yeah, I like that they're challenging that air movement from Ram now. That's great. RC, we're going to get the wall break. No, unfortunately, it drops.
Indeed, and now Sasori continuing to apply the pressure in the corner here, but Armix does have 50% tension available. Instead of doing any super or anything like that, just testing with the far S for now. Oh, the air dash back far S and the PRC to drift forward, but Sasori gonna burst out here kind of early, and because of that Armix, tries to take his turn back. Gonna be able to take his turn back again off that negative frame whip kick. Yeah, nice adjustment this time from Sasori, not getting caught by what he got caught by last round.
No, definitely not. I mean, that's a really smart adjustment. Going for another one of those dusts, but Sasori doing a great job blocking, gets grabbed, and there's the follow-up. Nice hit there from Armix.
What a decision to dash up throw there. Armix really recognizing that he's conditioned Sasori to respect the range of Ram and utilizing it against him. But right there, thought it was a little bit too respectful, and pressing buttons back-to-back counter hit is going to be mad damage to the wall as well.
Yeah, I mean, Armix did just get their burst back, but this is a lot of health to try and cut through. And they're not going to have the opportunity.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a hero burst and a half if Armix ended up bursting at the end there.
Yeah, so starting this one out, nice big counter hit there from Ram. And just trying to get that corner pressure that did so well in the second game for them. Wall break, chooses not to use the tension just to, I mean, have more available, I guess.
Yeah, don't know, maybe already been committing to the move, didn't cancel it in time for the super. Tries to pop off there, does hit with the 100 meter, able to RC afterwards, so she doesn't get to burst out for free, and Armix takes the lower semis 3-0 over Sasori.
That was some really awesome gameplay, like, just, especially in those last couple moments, the super whiffs still had meter because they had 100 tension, RCs, is able to punish the burst and takes it. Really great awareness of like what's going on, what your opponent's doing. Just well done, and not ever getting thrown by when Sasori had those really oppressive rounds during that set.
Yeah, and because Armix wasn't really on defense that much, we didn't see, and when they were, to be fair, they didn't really utilize a lot of the reversal super. I think that's what caught Sasori off guard at the end there, right? It really saved it for that set ending scenario. So Very smart stuff. Long-term conditioning, macro style of thinking from Armix.
So looking back through at these replays, it's cool to see kind of, what we were highlighting, the use of meter, being aware of tension gauges, knowing where your opponent was on screen, and just, this was that really incredible risk gauge. God, this damage.
Yeah, it's completely deleting her life. You can see even before we got to the super, only 10% life left. And then, yeah, with the wall break, it was going to delete even beyond the health bar that was available.
Yeah, there were all of those dusts that didn't hit, but, just walk up, grab. That works.
Yeah, got the OTG for the kill afterwards as well. Well timed. And the wall break here. And yeah, already with 50% tension and like Ramlethal in her capability in regards to block strings, it gets very scary very quickly. And then this is the reversal super. Oh, got caught at the very end. Burst, not gonna net you a damn thing. Good stuff from Armix there to put himself into losers finals. Big ups to Sasori though as well. I like seeing the Zato players experimenting with new characters here in the latest version of Strive. And of course that Giovanna has always been very potent, so big ups to him. He will be getting paid. He got our 4th place, so that is how you get into the money. So at the very least he'll be going home with that as we get into Ackerall versus Armix next.
Yeah, so this is lower bracket finals, and oh boy, I think it's going to be an insane match. I mean, these two players have been, honestly, they've been crushing it. And Ackerall was somebody, I feel like we were both kind of talking about, oh yeah, we're going to see him in the grand finals for sure. And we still might. But he got put into the lower bracket already. And against Armix, who did just play really well at a range that I feel like Leo has a little bit more trouble with, could be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, and I was very curious about the poll results. I figured they were going to go Armix's way, and they do indeed. So 66% for the Ramlethal here in this matchup up against Leo and Ackerall here. And Ackerall was letting the flash kicks fly. He might have some trouble in range with Ramlethal, right? A lot of the time she's not even going to try to get close enough to be messing with that flash kick type environment. So because of that, we'll see if Armix continues to ride this momentum from that loser semis match, or if Ackerall has kind of had some time to regain his composure from that winners finals and approach his gameplay in a different style.
Yeah, and hopefully that they were watching what's been going on previously, can kind of gauge and adjust what they're going to have to come into with this pressure. But I'm really curious how Leo is going to play into Ram. Yes, Ram has a lot of openings in her strings where if she doesn't hit that she's incredibly punishable, but the same goes for Leo, and Ram doesn't have to be half as close for her to hit.
All right, the intros have been rocked. We'll see how it goes now. Oh my god, he doesn't stop. The flash kick in 99 seconds. My man's just feeling frisky. And then he tries to close the distance with a berserker slash. He is just letting his specials move him forward. Look at this. Every single movement forward has been a special move. It was a flash kick. It was the berserker slash. It was the command throw. This dude Ackerall, he wants to be a hitbox. Literally, him himself wants to be a hitbox.
Right, and you don't have to worry about range if you're next to her. That's not an issue. Woo! I guess he was expecting Ram to go in, just did that raw dust there. Doesn't hit, but
yeah, I got no explanation
Ackerall
on
still
that one.
swinging.
We get the throw into the back turn stance. Ooh, crossed her ankles. Gonna put her towards the wall as well. And just the back turn S. Just ate it to the face. I'm not sure what Armix was trying there, if he was holding up and got the pre-jump frames exposed or what, but either way, gonna go down in the heart.
Oof. Just that counter hit. Okay, now Armix getting a little bit of their pressure going, just trying to get that corner, but I feel like they're playing scared now. It's like they weren't expecting what Ackerall was going to bring with the Leo.
Yeah, I definitely felt that way too. Now we got the corner back. This is where Armix wants to stay, right? Yeah, keep the PRC up. I like that. That does follow up well timed right there to get the explosion, to get the full combo. Well done jumping out of it, but PRC, ooh, the berserker slash. I really like that idea, but he tried it one too many times. Gets thrown for his trouble, and Armix gonna tie up this first game.
Yeah, just grab him. That works.
Yeah.
Counter to start the whole thing. And now, where it felt like Armix was respecting the Leo too much, I don't feel any of that respect anymore.
Yeah, and the Goldberg's at 100-meter, but Ackerall bursting up in Canada right there. That's not a good look, just completely whiffing everything.
Yeah, geez. This positive tension gain on Armix, I mean, it's great. They're not getting to use it, but they're just building it right now.
Okay.
Already have 50% tension, but look at the risk gauge. Ow!
That did mad damage because they increased risk gauge, and then again, now just like that, Ackerall is taking the life lead back. Both players with 50% tension going to use his. Both players going to use it actually to reset the neutral. Ackerall tried to commit to an air throw right there, but Armix wasn't sticking his hand in the blender. Still got anybody's game though. 2D whiff, not going to let the flash kick rip this time. My goodness, put some fireballs out. The heavy version this time. Going to be able to travel a little bit slower. Backdash, oh, excuse me, back turn stance. Just got clipped by the jump S. And then the Berserker Slash actually does net him the victory at the end of the day. I cannot believe the way they're playing.
No, this is ridiculous, honestly. I mean, it was like there was too much respect, and then there was not enough respect, and I mean, I don't know who's respecting who, or if we're not doing that anymore, but, you know, things are working.
Yeah, it feels like no one is respecting anybody's like decisions, what they're capable of on the characters, what they're capable as players. Everything's going out the window right there. That was a slobber knocker if I've ever seen one. I mean, I don't even remember. Oh yeah, it was Ackerall at the very end. I was like, I don't even remember who won that first game. It was so close. It came down to pixel versus pixel. But yeah, it was the Berserker Slash that squeaked out the victory. But with how close it was, this is still anybody's set, right? If you're Armix, you can't let that discourage you. You can't let it get your mental down at all, because it easily could have been your game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, it's not like Ackerall really took that with a commanding victory or something like that. Or, I mean, it really was just punch for punch, honestly. Like, it was an equal exchange, so it can go either way. So keep playing your game. You know, I wouldn't make any significant adjustments yet because stuff's working.
Besides, we got a burst immediate. I really like him waiting for the Berserker Slash to cross up to burst, to put him towards the corner right there. Tries to bait the burst after punishing the flash kick right there, but Ackerall not going to give it to him.
Looking... I mean, just a lot of blocked corner pressure. Ooh, I like the dash through to get out of the corner, but again, Armix doesn't really care. Gonna put you right back where you belong in the corner, friend. And sets up the pressure with the swords. But a nice reversal punish there from Ackerall in return.
Yeah. And this has been kind of the story of the set so far, is that Armix has gone out to a lead, and then Ackerall's gotten one knockdown and has won the game off of it. He's gonna get plus frames because they broke the wall with a super. What's it gonna be? Oh, I love it. The 5K into the 2D caught Armix flinching right there and had the RC convert for the kill.
You gotta block low, man. You just gotta block low. Because that 2K 2D, which works on pretty much every character, is scary, especially because you can combo off of it so well. So into this round, Armix again getting a ton of pressure going early on, but we know that that's not going to put Ackerall on the back foot. Look what he's doing now, putting Ram in the same position they just got put in.
So smart as well, recognizing when she was going to challenge, gets the parry, wall break super again. This is plus frames, but Armix has beer to threaten with this time. Goldburst has even more beer to threaten with. Now gets caught slipping on the fireball with the sword, but still bursting out. RC on the jump D, that's a big hit right here. If we can get the wall splat, we can kill, but he doesn't, and he recovers from the scramble with the parry. So smart.
Ackerall lives for chaos, honestly. Like, where we were saying that, Yamato lives in the chaos, Ackerall is just, I mean, he has a home, he's paid a mortgage, like, that is where he is at right now, but...
No timeshares, right? Fully owned in that property. He spends his entire time in the chaos dimension.
Yeah, like, we're investing. There is so much going on, and I mean, Armix, as far as I know, doesn't have another character to play, but now I do feel like significant adjustments need to be made. Ackerall has played your game, and he's won it twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think they need to do to change?
Man, that's a good question. Armix has done a good job kind of getting the life lead early, but it's just been, like, I think, some anxious defensive decisions that have really costed them in the entire game, right? Like as soon as Ackerall like feels like he has nothing to lose, like when he's down in life, he just seems to kind of prey on the fact that Armix is nervous. And you can see again the burst, that was very undisciplined burst at that point, just went with the far as soon as he got hit, he went with the burst. And that's something you do when you're like intimidated by the opponent's playstyle. And because of that, like again, Armix, now the 2D and the flash kick, this was a great time to bring it out. He just smells blood in the water.
Yeah, the blue RC doesn't hit. Okay, Armix does get a grab, isn't out of this yet, but that DP just, you know, took him out. It feels like Armix is mentally out of this right now.
Exactly.
Just, you know, when you're in this position, it can take a toll on you. You had to play more games than your opponent because you're in the lower bracket. Look at all this damage, but does jump out of it. Okay, still has some, you know, mental fortitude to make it through this.
Yeah, luckily it was a little bit too long on that super. Oh my goodness, insult to injury indeed. The charge does for the finish. That's rough.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a perfect though.
Me neither. Oh man, Ackerall going right back to grand finals with quite the showcase in loser's side. Yeah, man, he's really good for sure. And Armix, as we kind of highlighted, it definitely felt like his mental crumbled a little bit there. He was bursting really early, like in situations where the opponent was not in the AoE to actually get it. And there was just a couple of sequences that played out that really do damage to your mental state when it happens like that. Like the gold burst being blocked and then him trying to punish it. Gold burst is -10 in this game, so you can punish it on block, but it's a little bit difficult with how far away you usually do block the gold burst. So she went with the far S, which I think is 11 frames, and he ended up getting flash kicked. So situations like that just really make you crumble.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate because we did see Armix play really, really well in their lower bracket round against Sasori. Yes. And it felt like they were riding a high, they were ready to go, and then all of a sudden, Ackerall plays a very similar game plan in terms of tempo, in terms of pressure, you know, the way that they want to have you in the corner, and it just felt like little by little Armix got demoralized, honestly. I mean, when you end with a perfect, you know, is your heart really in it?
Yeah. And right there as well, that was another like a huge mental blow, the way that scramble played out, where Ackerall didn't get the full combo that he was looking for, but he had the awareness to immediately parry. Like, because often, right, when you're in a scramble situation, you drop your combo. Most of the time, your opponent is going to wake up and press a button because they feel like you're in recovery of an animation, or you're just going to be caught off guard because the game didn't go how you were expecting it to. Ackerall even planned for that. My man had a backup plan just in case the game ended up going a different way, and it did, and he was ready, and now he finds himself in grand finals yet again.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking as if he was going to be in grand finals, and here they are. They're ready to go. So taking a look at this, 73% win rate with Yamato versus the 90 with Ackerall. However, in the winners final, Yamato put Ackerall into losers, so don't let win rate percentages fool you. There's some serious gameplay at hand here.
Exactly. That one loss on Ackerall's side is as a result of Yamato, right? We saw him go into this series undefeated, 100% win rate, and he fell into the losers because of Yamato's May. He's going to get his run back now, and I think he's more than capable of resetting it and taking it himself. But Yamato has shown that they got all the adjustments necessary as well. And just in general, like the offensive strategy that might not even let you make adjustments in the first place.
Right. And I mean, you know, Ackerall is coming off of this high of winning the lower bracket finals there. So there is something to be said for momentum, but you got to keep in the back of your mind, you went down 3-1 the last time you faced this player. So that's a big thing to think about. And, you know, in the time that you had to sit there while some of the lower bracket was playing out, did you make those mental adjustments? Did you think about, oh, this is what I needed to do? Or were you exclusively focused on the lower bracket finals? And now you have, 2 minutes to figure out, oh, geez, I'm back here. What do I need to do?
Yeah, and the people at home seem to favor Ackerall after that losers final set, right? I mean, he looked dominant, so I'm not surprised that people were kind of favoring him after that showing, but we saw how good Yamato looked as well. 3-1, I believe it was in grand final, so no slouch whatsoever. I'm expecting a close set either way.
Oh, yeah, I definitely am. Now, if Ackerall does want to take this, they have to win 2 full sets because this is a double elimination. So Yamato is at the advantage right now.
Yeah, precisely, right? You gotta win 3 games before Yamato does to even get a chance at that first place. Ooh, right up over the fireball with the Totsugeki. I mean, we're picking up right where we left off in the Winners Finals, just Dolphins is being oppressing to the Leo.
Yeah, I mean, episode 2 is going the same way as episode 1 right now. And, ooh, does get a little bit of a throw, trying to establish something different, but just get Totsugeki'd. First round goes there for Yamato.
I know you don't expect Dolphins to make their way into the Lions Den, but you got to plan for the unexpected, which is how it is.
Yeah, you really do, because that is pretty unexpected.
Don't make no type of sense, but neither does, you know, this captain of this pirate ship with swinging this anchor. So, ooh, nice pickup.
Okay,
that was like weird. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it was fine. It was just coming back with all of those Totsugekis. I was surprised that the Leo move missed in order for Mei to get all of that.
Yeah, indeed. Ooh, we actually instant blocked that 6H at the end there. YRC and it connected. Both players just backdashing afterwards, though.
Oh, I love seeing that 2K coming out from Ackerall, just checking the pressure. He learned a little something from that last time that he played.
You know, just tosses him with a forward throw there. Yamato again. Oh, the Totsugeki with the counter hit, and he baited the first. That was so good. Doesn't get a full combo, though. Unfortunately, that might have been like a weird charge situation there where he ended up getting a dolphin when he wanted it just like a dash normal. Either way, float back just to drift forward. Yamato still taking that first game.
Yeah, the patience on Yamato. I mean, patience is not something we see a lot out of Yamato because they're just like aggressive, honestly. But when after that RC to just wait, you know, there was that sandwich situation with the projectile from Leo, then being on the other side, dashing through Mei, blocked the whole thing, RC of their own, and able to take it. Like, there was patience in that blocking. And I mean, this is fighting games. We don't block. Yeah. And Yamato it worked really well. So I feel like Ackerall does need to think about what's going on a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. The game plan's got to switch up a bit for sure, because right now Yamato seems to have everything ready. You see the vertical dolphins going over the fireballs, like you said, the RC on the burst in the corner, and he would have killed him there, but I believe he did get an execution error where, like, because Amei's a charge character and you're like holding back to block the burst and then you try to dash forward and press a button, this game holds charge for a long time. So sometimes when in those situations, you end up getting the charge move, which is I think what happened. She ended up getting a raw Totsugeki instead of a full punish. But I mean, you guys just got to be wary of that, because despite that, Yamato still took the entire first game. So Ackerall, I like the fireballs. I think the fireballs have been working out well, even despite the vertical dolphin getting past it sometimes. But that's like a preemptive thing that Yamato has to commit to, right? That's not something that they're really reacting to, I think, reliably. So maybe some more fireballs. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the way with the with that fireball trying to set up the sandwich situation, because it's not something in this game that a lot of characters can do. And so, like, if you're not used to blocking in a sandwich situation, you can get hit pretty easily. So, and I mean, that's something that once, you know, we introduce Jacko into the competitive scene, that is definitely something you're going to have to practice against, because she is really good at doing that. But with Leo, you know, you've got that, and then you have that really nice dash through too. I mean, you have a lot of tools at your disposal to be able to make this work against Yamato's Mei. But Yamato's Mei, I mean, and something, you know, she operates so quickly. You forget she's charge. Like, all these moves are charge moves. You have to hold down back before you get them out, and Yamato's throwing them out like it's just a regular old little Gatling.
Yeah, that's luckily for Mei players, right? The charge time in this game is quite short. Even though it holds charge for a long time, like, to actually get the necessary charge to perform your charge moves is very short in this game. And the same thing with Ackerall, right? All those fireballs that you're seeing, the flash kicks, those are all charge moves as well, but they don't seem like it just because of the required time to actually hold back. But we're gonna see. Right. And in addition to that, the backdash button in this game, or the dash button I should say, really allows you to backdash and then keep your charge and just like let out the charge move as soon as it's done. It's a wild thing, especially for Mei on the Totsugeki.
Yeah, it is crazy. And I mean, so far we've been able to see a lot of what, you know, what Mei can really do and why she is such a terror in this game right now. And I mean, let's see if Ackerall can make any adjustments into that.
Yeah, he's gonna need to right now, because Yamato off to an early start, and again already has the winner side advantage too. So First to 3 for him.
Okay, this is a really dominant start for Ackerall, for sure. I mean, Mei is already in that really low health, and actually, I mean, she's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to say anything. You're dead.
He tried to flinch after that 6H. A lot of people do just because they don't expect him to be able to like reverse Gatling into the 2S. That's not an option that a lot of characters have in this game, but because of that, people get caught slipping thinking they could take their turn.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, just waiting it out, seeing if Leo was going to push a button, I guess. Oh, but does get hit on that fireball as it went across the screen, so that was a pretty nice one. RC for Mei gets carried. Totsugeki.
Oh, actually stuffed the starter up of Leo's fireball with the beach ball. Nice jump out of the command throw, but was still ready with the anti-air 5P on the ground. Blocks the charge dust. Ooh, just gonna use that RC to slow down and get the cross up going. And then got caught reaching right there. Ackerall holding on to his burst for now. Oh my goodness, yo, Yamato. I like the 5H whiffs from long distance as well. Again, that's one of the buttons that got buffed. And then after that whiff, just going straight into the vertical dolphin again to bypass the fireball.
Yeah, I really like that Ackerall did choose to hang on to the burst because they wouldn't have had it until really late in this round. So smart on them for that. These cross-ups have been working wonders for him. And look at this corner crawl. Oh, unfortunately, that's the hitbox it's great for vertical, but not horizontal. Doesn't matter, still gets the hit. And does manage to put one on the board. Good adjustments from Ackerall.
And that was a really cool ender too. Just a 5P counter hit directly into the super. And that was a violent ender right there. 1 up. And yeah, Ackerall bouncing back heavily. That was like the bounce back that we saw from Yamato in the winners finals.
Yeah, it really was. So good adjustments made there. I mean, using everything that we had talked about that was an advantage that Yamato would have to, stop, really, like, you can literally stop time with RCs and reset that pressure and keep the aggression down a little bit from Mei, and it worked out really well for them. They were able to get 2 really dominant rounds. I mean, one of them was a perfect, so I feel like things are looking up for Ackerall a little bit, but still has quite the hill to climb with 2 sets, having to take if they want to win this.
Yeah, exactly right. So Ackerall does look a little bit better now, maybe a little bit more comfortable in that matchup. We'll see if it was just a one-time thing or if he can continue this type of adjustment throughout the set. He's got to go through a whole set just to get a chance at that first place after all, as you highlighted. I mean, the big H fireball right there, just maneuvering around it. And that's the thing about Mei. We talked about the backdash into the Totsugeki. This time, though, meeting her in the middle, stuffing it, and now we got the corner advantage. Quick burst out, though. Doesn't want to give Ackerall more than he's already earned.
No, definitely not. Okay. Good blocks there until that dash through. Now Leo is getting the pressure for sure, but unfortunately does get hit. Now it's Yamato's turn. How much can they get off of this? Because that whiff is... Okay, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. Never mind.
Yeah, she's trying to bait the burst right there. Ackerall didn't give it. Nice 5H utilization right there. We talked about it being buffed, and you can see exactly how. Stuffing the counter hit. Had the Totsugeki ready afterwards. Well done.
Okay, nice. I love when Leo just dribbles his opponent like a basketball. Slam dunk, let's go through the wall. Next. Here we go. Got that positive tension gain from the wall break. Counter?
Yeah, they traded from long distance on those normals. Both of them quite potent. It was the back turn ass. I didn't see what the Mei button was. Ooh, yeah.
Oof. That was a heck of a counter hit. Is Yamato blocking? That's the question. They did.
Yeah, big chilling right there, but no real risk once that projectile is thrown out. Ooh, the vertical dolphin tagging him in the jump H as well, but Berserker Slash and the Liger Bomb. Ackerall sneaking in the command throw in the scramble situation. Well done.
Okay, so this is getting a lot closer. Then I feel like they're scrambling a little bit more. There's a lot less collectedness to Yamato's gameplay now.
Oh my goodness, but he is deleting Ackerall's life bar right now. Already more than half life gone just from the straight hits. Again, this far S is plaguing him this round. My goodness. Oh, and
no.
Then baited out. Oh, perfect. Like that. Yamato taking a 2-1 lead here in grand finals.
Yeah, so I'm keeping track of perfects now. We're up to 5 in the EU top 8, and 2 of them have happened in this set. So that's kind of impressive. And geez, every time I'm like, oh, it looks like Yamato's scrambling. It's like they're not. That's their game plan. they still have control every time that once they establish their aggression, I'm not even gonna call it pressure anymore, it's just aggression.
Yeah.
Like, they're in the driver's seat and the game is theirs.
Yeah, both of them all just want to constantly take their turn back, and right now Yamato's been the one that's been consistently doing it effectively. Like, just kind of cutting off anything that Ackerall wants to get started with that 2S, the far S, the Totogekis. You can see already towards the corner here. Eventually, the back turn S, that's got a really good hitbox on it, as you saw, right? It's a little bit risky because he is in back turn. His options are a bit different than regular. So because of that, you don't see it from full screen, but it does have its options.
Yeah, two. Okay, there's the two dunks,
super.
uses the super to get the extra damage. May goes through the wall. Ackerall's sitting in a good position, but Yamato's got a lot of tension. I don't know if they're going to get the chance to use it, though. Unfortunately not. And, you know, you lose all your tension between rounds, so it's not like you benefit from hanging on to that.
Oh wow, that was quite the trade on the 99-second flash kick from Ackerall. Yamato gotta feel okay with that though. I mean, if your opponent's got a 99-second flash kick, oh my goodness, flash kicks are not gonna stop. Trading again though. Yamato again. Now we're getting back to that chaos dimension that he wants to be in. However, Ackerall, we talked about, he's pretty comfortable there as well. Gonna get the knockdown and steal the corner. BRC, I think he wanted the YRC, but he did it so late that he ended up getting a blue version instead. And that actually worked out because Ackerall was baiting the YRC.
Yeah, that did really work out well in their favor. Oh man, all that meter now used up. Yamato trying to put this to a 1-1 in this particular game.
Again, the counter hit Totogeki back to back with it now. Ackerall still has his burst available. What a flash kick on the vertical dolphin, holding on to this game, and the 2D counter hit to stay alive. Oh my goodness, 2-2 in this grand finals. Woo.
Ackerall had no health. Like,
None.
you could not see his health bar, and just went for it, was confident in their counters and in their decisions, and they took that. Like, I thought for sure, I mean, realistically, either player was one hit away, but I was like, no, Yamato's got this. This is it. 3-1. And Ackerall said, no, we're at least getting to 2-2.
Yeah. Game 5 now. Ackerall one match away from getting the reset bracket, going up 0-0 to put everybody on even ground. But right now, I mean, Yamato, it could have been their game, right? And that's what you talked about. The fact that it was so close, you can't get discouraged. You got to make sure that you clear your head to go into this last game. You don't want to give Ackerall that momentum of a reset. Great instant block and bait on that burst. Ackerall riding that momentum of the clutch victory here in this round.
Yeah, definitely riding the momentum now, because, okay, blue RC into a grab does work out for Yamato, resetting the pressure a little bit, trying to get that aggression established, not getting hit by things they were getting hit by in the previous round, so that's really good. Okay, there's that DP that's been really unfortunate for Ackerall. Did it again and dies, loses that round because of it.
Yeah, Ackerall not willing to burst right there. The first combo, I believe, like, it eventually got to a point where it was going to be very hard to burst. He probably would have ended up just whiffing it. That second time, he needed to burst on that first hit or die. And I think he was just betting on Yamato going with a hard bait. Did not end up doing that. And now Yamato off to a tremendous start in this round as well.
Yeah, ooh, I like that little low. Just, you know, test the water, see where May's at. You waited too long to hit. I wonder if he was trying to get the super input and just whiffed it.
Yeah, really weird, but a good YRC bait there. Ackerall finally gets something that he was looking for, but the recovery of the flash kick going to prevent him from getting the wall break. Block the 6P in the air. That's still Leo's turn. Totogeki out, though, showing no fear. PRC just jumps out of it. Her jump is so fast, but Ackerall going to force a final round here in this first set.
Yeah, geez, just Yamato was blocking for their life and missed, you know, Ackerall missed 2 wall breaks, but still took it. So...
Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise a little bit, right? Because he stayed in the corner. You can hold forward on the wall splat to go back to mid-screen, but Yamato wasn't doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Ackerall still has their burst. That DP is not working out for them. That is, I think, the 3rd time they've tried to do it in this particular game. Oh, what a burst. Gets really punished. This is looking all Yamato right now.
Yep, and then putting the heels on the dome piece to seal it off. Yamato with another perfect. I think that's the 6th perfect, if the count is correct.
The count is correct. I believe that's the 6th one. Holy moly. I mean, what a way to take it. If you're going to take grand finals, do it with a perfect.
Yeah, great stuff from Yamato right there. Ackerall really went with that Hail Mary burst at the end. He like dashed forward and was hoping to catch a button to get that gold burst. Knew that he needed the 100% tension to try to bring himself back into the game. But Yamato showing like just a great rhythm switch up constantly, right? We see so much hyper aggression coming out from them, but at the same time, they picked really clutch moments to play patiently.
Yeah, I really like the way you said that. Clutch moments to play patiently, because they did. And the moments were so fast that they were almost hard to see. But there was patience on the sides of Yamato. You know, yes, they live in the chaos. I think they've had more of a down payment than Ackerall has on their crazy house. But, you know, the way that they're able to control the gameplay, to figure out where they want to be in neutral, to establish pressure. I mean, looking back at these replays, everything is calculated.
Yes, exactly, right? You see the Totsugeki offense coming through lively. Even right there, you waited for half a second before doing that 2S, trying to see what Ackerall was going to present. That was such a clutch round ender, though. I cannot believe Ackerall held on in that round. That was incredible.
Yeah, me too. That was ridiculous. Like, you have to just be thinking about your game plan and only your game plan. So here's that last little bit, going through the wall, sending Leo. Oh, that burst. Just breaks your heart.
And that's what we talked about, right? Trying to get in there, instead just coming up empty, and because of that, revolved around an easy punish for Yamato, and then just needed that overhead, that beautiful round ender. Didn't need an RC or any more damage to follow it up, so he caught him asleep at the wheel at the last second, and Yamato takes it 3-2 in grand finals. A little bit scary. The reset was close, but no cigar, and my man crowns himself the champion here, knocking down Ackerall not once but twice after he came into this series undefeated. So big ups to Yamato again for taking the August of the EU edition of the Guilty Gear Strive PlayStation Tournament Finals. You can see NA is coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific time. That's in 2 hours and 20 minutes now. But we still got all kinds of stuff going on. Tomorrow, you're going to be seeing the Losties Tower, August 31st, 10 a.m. Pacific time, as well as the monthly finals for Tekken going down on September 2nd at 9 a.m. And we're closing off the monthly final series with Soul Calibur 6 on September 3rd at 9 a.m. as well.
Yeah, these are some great tournaments, these monthly finals happening all week this week. And again, if you want to get involved with these, if you want to see your name up here in the top 8, go to compete.playstation.com, sign up. It's free. It's that easy. Like, just go in and just sign up for the games. You can compete in any of the things that you've seen here today. We also mentioned we've got Under Night in Birth, we've got BB Tag, we have things that aren't even fighting games on there as well. Like, the whole list is available at compete.playstation.com. If you want to get involved, go ahead, do it. I've competed in them. It's easy to sign up, and it's really, really fun, especially if you want the opportunity to fight players of this caliber on the regular basis.
Yeah, it's how you get your reps in and how you get better, right? Getting exposed to these top level players that are grinding it out every month here in the PlayStation tournaments. So big ups to everybody that has been participating in EU, NA, whatever game you've been holding it down in. Thank you so much for being a part of these tournaments. And thank you all for viewing with us here on the EU finals. Big ups to Yamato for taking that first place, but it was a hell of a top 16, top 8 all the way through. It was really exciting matches. Big ups to you as well, Jadalyn. It was, or Jadalyn, excuse me, a very fun commentating with you for the first time. And we're going to be back for 2 p.m. as well on the Guilty Gear Strive NA bracket. So do not go anywhere on PlayStation. We'll see y'all soon.
I know who I am. The moonlight lake told me this is who you are. My veins are so long, my nails are sharp on the light. That is me. I want someone that will move. That is bullshit lazy. Still my heart is blazing. If the word kill me, I don't need a new one under you. Soon you will know. We already know the smell of the game. Trapped in the toxic created by this world. That is who you are. No sign of truth and I must be dead some kind of way down. Gravity gets us on the ground. That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If I lose my wings I don't need a new world order. You can't feel a thing. We already know the smell of the game. Remember you are blazing. Still your heart is blazing. If the world made you I don't need a new world order. You soon you will know. We already know the smell of the game.
PlayStation
Can't you see I'm blazing? Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need